Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Rant and Bollox. It's been a wonderful week. The sun is shining.
I've seen you too much this week. Let's face it.
Yeah, we had a good Saturday where we watched movies, we played games.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of ourselves with Alien Isolation in VR.
I'm Neary, by the way, and that's Alex.
Yes.
Because I realise we don't introduce ourselves.
No,
We're really bad at this.
Yes.
Oh well, doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
we
like
had a great Saturday.
It's like the Sean Connerys.
They're flawless.
No one knew who was doing who. So let's do it again.
Godspeed.
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 Mine started to sound like fucking Gollum.
No one knows which one you did, though.
I know. Week been good for you? I mean, I saw you on Saturday, so
yeah. Since then, that's all I've had. I've had 2 days of you, not in my life. It's been heartbreaking. One day. What day is it?
Just
Monday.
one day.
What day do we do?
Less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
So, no, lots of news actually on my list.
That's good.
Lots of things I want to cover. Got nothing.
Nothing.
All right, we're done here.
What are we going to do this week? Because you switch it up now. Are we going to do tech or are we going to do gaming?
I don't know. Should we do... We'll do...
fishing. Let's do fishing
first.
Let's
do fishing. I was going to say we'll do like a roll of a die, but I don't have a dice here. And also, I don't know, say roll of a die. I always say dice. Roll the dice. Roll the
dice
die.
is plural.
So, yeah.
Speak English. It's not that hard a language. You made it.
I'm making my own language. I'm making my
die
own
is a word. So. Die means one.
Means you should be dying. Die.
Roll a dead. Roll a dead.
Roll a dead body. We will start with tech. We'll just go with the old...
All right, tech it is.
One of these days we will start with movies.
Okay.
A new Google Earth was brought out. So I don't know if you heard about that.
A new Earth?
A new Earth.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's
scared.
2 of them. So you can see it if you look up in the sky. So now they brought out an updated Google Earth.
Okay.
And with it came lots of updates. But basically when you go to the website now...
Like Google Maps?
Yeah, it's basically... Google Maps is almost like turned into like its own little Google, because Google Earth is an app, and you can go down.
Yeah, you go down.
You can go down. You can spin around.
Yeah,
you can now do that on like the web. And
yes,
and it's a lot more interactive, and the 3Ds. Like if you have a decent laptop, I'm not sure if your one's going to be able to handle it. I don't know if people know, but Neary's he's working on like
improving
it's something from Toys R Us. So it really is. So when he renders out a video, he's just like, right, I'll see you in a week.
Yeah,
so.
It's got the gigabytes of an Etch-a-Sketch.
It's an Apple, but I went just before this podcast. I went to check. I was like the little Apple in the top corner. I was like, oh, how powerful is this machine? I was like, oh god!
You shut the machine down, checking how much power it had.
I was like, literally, like
this is a seed. That's an apple. That's how it works.
We can get something from the dollar store downstairs. It might push more power. No, it's not that bad. But,
it's like 4 Tamagotchis tied together. That's how much power this is.
He's specking up like the best Apple you can get, which is basically a house. The price of a house.
Much.
So.
I can either get a mortgage or I can get a new laptop.
But that new laptop might run this new
Google Earth.
So, but yeah, basically it has loads of new features. They also brought out Google Earth for VR for Oculus. So it used to be on the Vive. And
we never talk about VR. This is a strange departure for us.
I know. I just wanted to try something different.
Let's have a change. Let's have some
VR.
Wings.
So, that's a little side joke. Let's have some wings.
That's an inside joke.
Inside joke. Yeah, what did I say?
Side joke.
What the heck am I talking about?
I don't know. You sound like a drunken lawyer. I'll take a side joke, please, Your Honor. Objection. Google Earth.
You can do 3D fly-arounds now. So you can basically say like Grand Canyon. And then they have like this programmed in tour button. And then you'll tour around the Grand Canyon.
VR?
No, well, you can do it in VR, but you can do it on the desktop, and it will just kind of like a little camera will go around in 3D, and you'll get like the depth of all the canyons and canyons,
yeah,
Stony Stark. So it just has some cool features. Go and check it out. It also
I love Google Earth because you just type in that one address and it just zooms right into your house.
Well, this might be the icing on the cake. This bit. So they paired up with BBC.
Okay.
And some of the locations you go to,
you can find Richard Attenborough's house.
David Attenborough is talking over some of those things. So if you go through a certain jungle or whatever it is, he'll be talking. And he'll take you through, but you'll still be in Google Maps and you can zoom out any time.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
I think, now thinking about it, I think the whole experience would be awesome if it was him. He was like, zoom in, zoom out.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're zooming in. All right, that's too far.
Yeah, you've gone too far.
That'd be kind of fun. But no, I just, it's worth checking out. Google basically were made famous with Google Earth, you know?
Yeah.
Google Maps and Google Earth.
Google Maps,
so they kind of, they're revamping it because they've got Apple and they've got, I think Nokia have their own maps and Bing from Microsoft have their own maps.
It's just hard to catch up with
all
them
these
now.
people. Yeah, they're playing catch up. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. And then they have the Oculus version with the VR, so it supports the touch controllers.
Yeah.
So for anyone that has used the Vive version in Oculus, the controllers weren't. The control scheme wasn't quite there because it was made for the Vive controllers.
Yeah.
So now the experience is supposed to be better. I haven't tried it, but yeah, just worth noting because it's cool. But you do need a slightly more powerful laptop, like 2010 upwards, probably something like that. So yours is from what, 1984 or something?
I think it was made by Charlie Chaplin back in the first stage of cinema.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, that explains why
the horse that's powering it has died.
That explains why the screen's black and white. So. Yeah, so that was cool.
You just thought that was my screensaver.
No,
that's it. That's you got 5K res. I've got 5 res.
I got him to change his screensaver the other day because we were doing the podcast around mine, and I was like, "Well, we need to get a shot of all three." We had the TV where we were watching the movie, and we had my screen, his screen, and I was like, "You're gonna need to change that to our wallpaper." Yeah. He's like, "I don't know, man.
I don't like change." Took 45 minutes for that thing to upload anyway.
Yeah, it took about 45 minutes to set it as a wallpaper.
Get a little beach ball.
I'm really taking a piss out of your computer here.
You should. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's crying.
It should be crying. It should be ashamed of itself. It's disgusting.
Another one is Neil Young. Do you know Neil Young? Of course you know Young.
John's dad? Yeah.
He is, he came out with an MP3 player.
Oh, I know what this is.
Yeah, well, he had an MP3 player called the Pono.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Pono. I'm guessing it's called Pono.
Yeah.
And what it was all about was listening to music in super high quality. And I'm pretty sure it played this sound format called FLAC. And FLAC is like incredibly detailed sound. Like it makes an MP3 sound like it's been recorded behind a wall. Super sharp sound. So he was like, it's going to be an MP3 player just for that. But the trouble is, your average Joe doesn't even know what FLAC is.
Yeah.
Also, their headphones might be from like the dollar store.
Yeah.
And if you play FLAC through dollar store headphones, it's the worst thing you can ever do, you know? So anyway, that MP3 player pretty much died. It also looked like a piece of shit. It looked like a diamond.
Right.
It was like, that doesn't really fit in your pocket, does it? You're going to have this like sharp edge sitting out. So now he's coming out with a streaming service. I don't know if it's called XStream, but the article I was reading was like
that's what I heard.
Extreme.
Yeah, XStream.
But so it's the same stuff as, and it's going to be playing really high quality sound. What I was reading is apparently it will know if you're on a really good connection or if you're on a poor connection, and it will dynamically change the sound, but give you the highest quality you can get.
Right.
Well, yes, that's just fucking Spotify.
Yeah,
and Apple Music, and I keep forgetting Jay-Z's one.
You should, because it's dying.
Tidal.
That's
yeah. But
it's drowning.
But Tidal is all about high quality sound as well.
Yeah.
So I don't understand
and overcharging people.
I don't understand why he's doing this.
Well, this is like the Google Maps argument. So if you're in the way the world works now, is that you're like competing globally.
Yeah.
And once you get ahead, what are people going to offer that you don't already offer?
Yeah,
like Google Maps. What is Apple Maps, or what do you say, Nokia Maps? What are they going to give me?
The only thing
that Google Maps doesn't give me.
The only thing I can say about those other guys for the maps is that you do have loyal fans. Like there's a lot of Microsoft people out there, and if Microsoft, they've got Bing Maps, so I can see a lot of people using them because in their machine it will be the default thing.
Yeah.
And then when they use Google, they'll be like, oh, Google Maps, I'm not used to the look and feel.
Yeah.
Same with Apple in a way, because it's such a big brand, but with Neil Young, I know he's a big artist, but he's not experienced in streaming. So why are people going to go to his streaming service?
Yeah.
Like I would even say it with Jay-Z. He's huge, but still, why are people
what's better
going
than
to
Spotify?
Tidal?
Yeah.
You know,
if you're offering the same product,
Spotify and Apple Music are the two big guys, and I actually liked audio back in the day, but it died.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just find it. I'm so puzzled. Like his MP3 player dies because people aren't interested in pretty much. The design of it was pretty horrible, but also I just don't think your average Joe is like, oh, FLAC music. They don't. You go up to 100 people on the street and say, what's FLAC as a sound file?
Yeah.
I'd reckon maybe like 5 people will know.
Yeah.
So I just found it interesting just reading that article because he's just still trying to keep it alive.
Yeah,
if you're so passionate about it, why don't you?
Or something.
I think you should team up with Jay-Z because Jay-Z's about all the artists. I'm sure Neil Young is, but he probably can't relate to him.
Those poor millionaires, they're not making enough money.
I know.
Yeah.
But that was a highlight.
It'd be interesting to see if he gets to the point of just being like, yeah, screw it, I'm going back to records, LPs. It is.
That'd be funny.
No more streaming. I'm just going to do an LP.
There's something about the LPs though. My mate this morning was buying a record player. I know quite a few people who are record players, actually.
A lot of people like the nostalgia.
I've got a funny story to tell, actually. And we'll see if Dre's listening into this episode, because it has something to do with Dre. He invited us up to his cottage. This was maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's got a record player up there. So we're all drinking away. And there's a good maybe 20, 30 of us. He lives on this island. It's like 2-3 hours north of Toronto.
Right.
And so, he lives on this little island. You have to get there on boat and stuff. So we were basically there for the night. We had loads of booze. Everyone's like pissed drunk. He was like, I'll put some music on. I think someone had their MP3 player playing, but Dre's like, I've got, this hooked up to speakers and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just happened to be near the record player. So he was like, put this guy on. It's in here. So I took him out, and it was one of the records. And then I was like, I don't know how to fucking do this. I was like, I don't know how to do this. I think I'd done it once.
You've seen it in the movies.
I'd done it.
Yeah.
And my dad's like years and years ago. And because it was wasn't my record, I was like, I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to snap it, break it, or whatever.
Yeah.
And also I've had beers. So I just remember calling over to Dre, across the room. I'm like, Dre, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And then he was like pretty blown away that. He's like, what do you mean you don't know?
Just put it up.
So like, no, I didn't remember what happened. I think I might have tried it out, or someone just came.
Just used it as a frisbee. Just threw it at somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
But he always brings that up every now and again. I remember that.
Yeah, you can't use an LP.
Yeah, but a lot of my mates do have them, and even one of the guys today was getting one on the way home, actually, for a present. But
it's one of those weird things of, is it better?
Does it appeal to you, like having one?
I don't know. I remember I got my first LP back in the day.
Yeah.
I think it was Michael Jackson, Bad. That was the first LP I ever got. We had a player, but then we got replaced and you got a CDs and all that. So I didn't have a lot of the collection.
Right.
But then you hear like the music quality's better, the sound quality's better. You get that
you get
tone
you get like the authentic sound, don't you? I mean, it depends how you're playing it as well, like what you're playing it.
But I'm always wondering that, because there's also the psychological question of, is it just because you grew up with it that that's the sound you're used to?
Yeah.
Like that background hum and the hiss.
Sure.
And is that why you like it? Or is the sound actually better?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to tell if it's better, because it shouldn't be better sound.
I guess it's not, but it's just the type of sound that you can't really recreate on an MP3.
True, yeah.
Just like that.
It's like the argument with film. It's like film stock gives you a grain to it and a palette that you don't get with digital.
I feel like it's that.
Yeah.
And also it's just nice knowing that it's playing. You've got you're going to listen to the 10 songs that are on there, whereas you're just spoiled by choice with Spotify, and suddenly you're like, oh, change the song, skip.
Yeah.
You're kind of forced to appreciate the music more as well. Not that you need to be forced to,
but it's definitely going to die out. It's just, there's nothing that can compete with digital at the end of the day.
It definitely, I think it will stick around because it's only going to get more popular for the indie. People want to relive the old school memories.
But it's stuff, I always go back to Kodak.
Yeah.
And once digital cameras came in, photo cameras, everyone loves the old film camera, and the stock was still the same. But it's too expensive.
Oh yeah, to actually be a business,
it'd become a very, very small niche market.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think it will always be that now. It might get bigger, a little bit bigger, but it's always just going to be a niche.
Because the whole thing of having to get the plastic and the molds and make the mold and all that, it's like no big company's going to invest in that.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of artists still do it so that the DJs can get it, but even then they're going to be like, nah, just MP3 it. Save ourselves $100,000.
So much easier. Yeah. So, I remember back in the day, good old Napster and all that lot. Did you do downloads and stuff like MP3s?
Not back in the day. No, I was never really into it. I was never on a Napster wagon. I just heard of it.
We were bang on the internet right in the early days, but it was mainly my brothers. But we had Napster. We were getting all the songs and stuff. And my brother would go into Virgin Megastore when they were around.
When they were real, yeah.
And he used to. Well, he didn't do this, but he wanted to, because once we started downloading MP3s, we were like, why the heck are people buying CDs?
Yeah.
And then so we walked in and there was an album, Metallica's album, whatever. I'm using Metallica because I know they're really against it.
Yeah.
But he used to be like, I want to put a sticker on here. Your Napster keywords are, what to type in, And then you just go home and go oh yeah, I remember my keywords are this to type in, and I can bring up the thing. We never did the stickers or anything, but
That would have been a great.
But that was just like a change. That was a change of the industry. Like I think it was LimeWire as well was a popular one. But Napster actually came back because Napster was fully illegal.
Yeah.
But then it died. It actually came out as a proper service. It was basically, I think it was before, Spotify and all those guys. I don't think it's still around, but it was using the power of its name because everyone knew Napster, and it was like that little blue cat icon. So it came back as a legit service after a while, and there was a lot of loyal fans. They were, I remember Napster. Yeah, I'll sign up for that. But then I'm not sure what happened to it. But yeah,
Napster killed CDs and Netflix killed Blockbuster.
In general, like CDs, I barely touch a CD. When was the last time you held a CD?
Well, a few years ago when I was home.
Was it years ago?
Years ago. It would have been like not a new CD. Like, I realized it's a CD collection. I haven't got a new CD. No, every CD I would be able to get my hands on is like an old Beatles one that I
realized I've touched a CD because of the PlayStation 4.
Right, yeah. But you don't think of that
before
as
that
a
it's
CD.
been years.
Yeah, but that doesn't count as a CD.
Well, I do actually mean that. I mean physical DVD
ones? Yeah, that's the last thing I would have done, like a video game.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Like something you bought. Like a video. That's the last one.
Yeah.
The last CD I bought, oh God, it would have been 10 years ago at least.
It's nuts. It's like that, and then now like cabs with Uber, like they're going to be gone. There's so many things that's just going to be wiped out of existence. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's still going to be a cab. It's just a different generation of cab.
Little pod, little robot.
Yeah. I don't know how we went from Neil Young to all of that, but what's the other one? Ridley Scott.
Oh yeah,
he's got this new VR division. So this is an exciting one.
Yeah.
So he's got a new VR division, and he's doing like just VR things like extras for his film.
Right.
So I know I talked about it on one of the podcasts before, Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
And they had their own little VR section.
Yeah.
So he's said that he's going to do one for Alien.
Oh
now, exciting news.
Yeah.
It's actually been... Trailer just came out about an hour ago.
Oh, really?
It's out in 2 days.
Hot new news.
So it's out in 2 days, and it's going to be... Well, I'll read the little press thing, because there's a trailer.
That's what you're here for, reading what someone else has written.
Yeah, but Alien Covenant. And then it's a 360 virtual reality journey into a living nightmare, and offers a terrifyingly close and personal encounter as an alien neomorph. Is that what they're called?
Xenomorph.
Oh, xenomorph. At the time of its birth. Fans will be able to experience the world around them, reliving the very first memories of a xenomorph in the immersed environment. And in the
so you get to be an alien.
In the teaser, you're in the blooming wound.
Oh yeah.
So basically, you're going to burst out someone's
chest burst.
So that's out for free on Oculus.
Right.
I'm assuming free. They didn't say that though. But
we'll get on Napster
on the 26th.
For free.
So yeah, we'll get on Napster. So we've got a few. Sorry.
When's it?
26th. So 2 days.
2 days.
So we thought, we were wondering, so we basically did Alien Isolation, which you'll see a nice little play of that later on.
Yeah.
But I'll...
Not on this podcast.
Not on this podcast, but as in later on.
Later on, you can watch it on this
before
podcast.
Covenant comes out. But I'll do a play of this as well.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think it's just a small experience, so I'll do a play of it as well. So that'll be fun. But yeah, I was excited by that.
That is cool.
Because we were wondering when that was going to come out.
Yeah.
We were like, we'll do Alien Isolation anyway.
Yeah.
But, I'm sure this VR experience will come out weeks after the film. But it's like, nope, it's coming out before the film in 2 days. So that's cool. That's going to be fun. And then the other one, because we don't really talk about VR.
It never comes up, though, really.
Batman VR is coming out tomorrow.
Oh,
so
God.
I'm buying it.
You're having a great bloody week when I'm gone, aren't you?
Buying that. Impressions of that will go up as well. Like I'll do, because we've got like a little setup downstairs now where we can record. So we'll do a couple of little impressions of that. But the Alien ones for sure.
Very cool.
We'll do that. So that's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Or shit. It could be shit. You could just be excited and be like,
yeah, that's so true, bad. Actually. It would be the most depressing video ever. It's like, oh, God, where's the rope?
That's what you want. Where's the rope?
Another thing on the list is just read this. Uber have been like fucking about a bit, and they've been tracking their customers.
Right.
Apparently, been tracking the drivers and their customers through the app. So obviously, that's not cool. People don't want that. Now, this is the power of Apple. This is what I loved about it. Is Apple actually threatened to throw them out of the App Store if they don't fix it?
Yeah.
So I just love that because Uber's huge, but I love that Apple are like, if you don't stop doing this, we're going to remove your app. And Uber can't do anything about it.
No.
And that would actually kill their business.
Yeah.
So I just like
as big as Uber have gotten.
Obviously, they can go on Android, but there's only that can only take them so far. So I just love it's basically Apple giving them a little slap around the face, saying like, we don't like what you're doing. Never mind, like your customers.
Yeah,
like
we don't like it.
You know, So
I don't care what your customers think.
It just shows you how much power they have. We will remove you from the App Store. Your app won't work anymore, kind of thing. So, though actually, I don't know how that works with once you've got the app installed. I think you can actually keep it on your.
But we know updates.
Phone. So there'll be no updates. Yeah.
So all it takes is for one guy to hack it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Pretty much. So, but the power of Apple in there.
That's the way Apple is. It's like we talk about all the time, like what Apple compete on. They don't compete with hardware anymore. Yeah. It's all software. That's where their power is.
But there is an advantage to that business model, you know, whereas like Android's a bit more open and Uber are like, we can get around it and do this or whatever. Yeah. Whereas Apple are like, it's a walled garden.
We are the gods here.
We are the gods. Yeah. Pretty much like Thor is like with his hammer. No, I just love the fact that, you know, they could spank Uber.
Yeah.
Give them a spanking. The last one was we were talking about it before, and I'm a big boxing fan. We talked about Anthony Joshua. He's fighting on Saturday in Wembley against Klitschko. And Neary's heading back to Ireland tomorrow.
I'm gonna try and watch it though.
So this is
because it'll be regular time for me. You're gonna have to be up at whatever.
The reason why I'm mentioning it's only 5-6 o'clock for us.
Because they're ahead. Yeah.
So it'll be.
I'm getting messed
up. It'll be later for you.
Yeah, it'll be 10 for me.
But really, because of the jet lag and stuff, won't be too bad.
It'll be Tuesday.
Yeah. The reason why I'm mentioning it and I'm putting it in tech is I don't think I can bloody watch it because there's no way of friggin' streaming it in Canada. I don't know why I was like, should I tell them I'm in Canada? They know I'm in Canada.
They know you're in Canada. They can track you on your Uber app.
This is just like, I won't talk about it for too long, but basically it's in Sky in England. It's in Sky Sports, in Sky Sports. You can't watch Sky Sports out of England because you need to have
the box.
You need to have their box, and then you can do it on the mobile, but you need to have it attached to a UK address and also UK credit card and stuff.
Right.
And I don't have Sky, obviously. So then apparently Showtime, because it's such a huge fight, Showtime in the States picked it up. So I'm like, all right, Showtime here. Showtime, I think is Bell or something, but I don't have Bell.
Right.
But then Coachco, my brother works for that company. So I texted him and said, like, you guys got Showtime, yeah? And he was like, no, actually, we don't have that one. That's one of the only ones. I'm like, what the heck? So then I was looking at VPNs, which, again, is illegal. But, you know, I was like, all right, let's do this.
You've tried every way you could to get it properly.
So I can go through, I can get onto Sky, and I can sign up to Sky. But I actually have to have a UK address, which technically I can just use my old one. Yeah. But then I have to have a UK card, and I don't have my card anymore. So I have to speak to my brother and say, like, this. But then I have to use a VPN, but then it's not 100% accurate if that's going to work. I don't want to pay. It would actually cost about $40 for the fight because you're paying for the whole evening. Yeah. And that's in pounds and all that, the equivalent. So I'm like, how the heck can I watch this fight? Yeah. So I do know for everyone else out there, I've got a streaming site that I use. Yeah. But it's blurry, and then for boxing, sometimes it pauses. It comes back and the guy's on the canvas. Yeah. And you're like, what the heck just happened? It's same for it with UFC and stuff like that. But UFC, you can actually buy the fight over here. Yeah. And then you can watch it. But boxing, I'm just like, I don't know how to watch this fight. It might come to. You might have to hold your phone.
Yeah, I'll put it in front of the camera for you.
So
it's a good fight, isn't it?
I had to put it under tech because I've been going around saying like, right, what about Slingbox? What about Apple TV? What about downloading the Showtime app on Apple TV? Nope. It's only available in the States. Okay, I registered as a American iTunes account, so I downloaded the app. Right. But now that I've got that, I need the American address, I need the American card and all that. I'm like, oh, God. Then when you book the fight, you're still doing it through a VPN and you're not confirmed that it's going to stream through. Yeah. Or maybe when it comes to fight night, it's like, you're using a VPN. Yeah. Thank you for your $50 for the fight there. You know? So this week is going to be me researching until I can get it. Because I got my wife into boxing as well, and she really likes Anthony Joshua now. Yeah. So she's like, make sure we're watching that fight in HD. Yeah. You know? And I know boxing isn't that as popular in Canada.
Yeah, but this is a unification world heavyweight championship fight.
So it's
be everywhere.
It's annoying. And like there's YouTube TV, which came out a couple of weeks ago. I know we mentioned it on a podcast. Yeah. It's only available in the States. So that was the other thing I wrote down here is like everything that comes out.
I can see your screen. All you've got written on is fuck.
Yeah. It's always the bloody States. And then not Canada, you know? So it's just like,
we're not a real country.
Yeah, feels like it.
Yeah.
But
you guys don't like boxing?
No, you won't have it. So yeah, I'll keep everyone updated with that. Well, next podcast we'll let you know.
Yeah, next time
if I actually watched it or whether I watched a blurry, paused.
You
thing.
threw the TV out the window. Like, what's the point of you? Yeah,
exactly. Have you got anything for tech, man?
I do have one thing for tech.
Oh yeah.
It's in the film, but we'll put it in the tech.
Sure.
Do you know the Tribeca Film Festival?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, it is tech because they're not just showing movies this year.
Yeah.
As of last year, they started showing VR. So they have this thing called Storyscapes.
Okay.
So it's VR movies and VR experiences.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of like world premieres and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it'd be cool if we get to actually see them afterwards. I don't know if they'll be released, but
yeah.
I want to see what they're doing with film.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Because one of the films that's coming out is from Catherine Bigelow, who did The Hurt Locker.
Yeah.
You know, the whole big bomb blast thing.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
That's how they came out with the new Samsung phone.
With the new Samsung, yeah. But she's got one that's about the park rangers who protect the animals from poachers in the Congo.
Okay.
And that's like the VR experience. You're going to be like in the park and all that.
Right.
So I'm like, this would be pretty cool.
That's sweet.
I know she's an Oscar winner, so like it's a big deal.
There's been a lot of there's been a lot on Kickstarter, but there's been a lot of companies doing a lot more 360 cameras now.
Yeah.
We have a 360 camera in our office, but it's really low res. Like it's fucking awful, actually.
Right.
Because it's hard to capture 4K all the way around. You know, the tech's just coming into its own now. So I know Facebook.
Yeah, because to get a 4K all around, you got to have what? 6 4K cameras,
something like that. It's expensive as well. So but it's starting to one of the solutions was there's like a little GoPro bowl that you can buy, so you can basically stick like 6 GoPros together or something around this like
I've seen that thing. Go like that,
but I think that's obsolete now because there are like Facebook have got like I think it's 4K, but it's like a 4K 360.
Right.
GoPro have got a new one coming out, and there's loads of other companies. And Samsung with the new Gear VR, they brought out a camera, so it's a big thing now. So I can see these studios using them, probably even Cameron as well, like on set. Like if you've got a set,
there's
you can use that
tech film crossover. His bloody Avatar film got delayed again.
Oh yeah,
so it's not coming out next year. Apparently, it's coming out in 2020.
Yeah.
But he's making 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's on my movie list. I didn't read the dates because I don't care too much. But he gave the dates for the next 3 Avatar films.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they are, but I don't know when the first one's out.
I think it's 2020 is the first one. Then every year thereafter.
Yeah. I mean, at least it's not as bad as the frigging Transformers. Do you know the guy?
Oh yeah.
Said
do 14 more or something.
It's like, are you fucking kidding?
At least Bay's not doing it. Yeah, so that was the tech thing. I'm just going to keep an eye on that. Tribeca's on until the end of this week.
Yeah.
So I know they did it last year. I'll try and look up some of the
that'll be sweet.
The films and see if we can watch them.
Yeah, I think it's a real thing. Like we've seen a couple of movie experiences in VR. It's definitely a real thing, and VR is going to eventually move to the mobile.
Yeah,
and everyone's got a mobile, and you just put a little headset on. We mention it so much. The experiences we're doing are more gaming and kind of fun, but it's an awesome experience. It's VR for film. You know, like watching. You can watch the new Alien movie in a big theater if you wanted in VR, or you can watch it. Like say if Ridley made the whole movie just for VR. You know, like just putting that headset on, you're transformed. You're in that world again. But anyway, it's a real
interesting.
Thing.
I definitely want to check it because just another connection there is Catherine Bigelow is the ex-wife of James Cameron.
Oh yeah,
so
okay.
I think they're still friends and all that. As Hollywood people usually are.
Yeah.
So like she probably has some connection with the 3D, the VR. And it'll all start coming together.
That's great. Yeah. We'll follow it closely because we mention VR every 3 minutes. So
3 to 4. That's the contract. It's every 3 minutes we have to say it.
Yeah, because that's what Nintendo Switch. Cool. We'll move on to some gaming.
No, we're on tech. Which means now we have to have our tech talk for the week. Our tech question.
Oh, sure.
So last week we talked about autonomous cars.
Yeah.
People got a few comments on that. They're mentioning things like...
Oh, yeah.
How the cars will talk to each other.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yep.
Didn't factor that in. Mine was more like, next week someone's going to have to come up with the law.
Yeah.
In the future, all the cars will be able to...
But then you're going to have like egos. You're going to have like gangster cars and then you're going to...
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Well, one of the things like that I was worried, just on that quick, was... You're still going to have some government agency controlling all the cars. Because, like, how do you know that the Ford guy is going to put in a good system like the Hyundai guy.
When Hyundai
and if someone's got a personal issue with the guy who makes the Subaru, he's like, if you see a Subaru, you fucking ram it.
Ram it, yeah, exactly. Full speed ahead.
Yeah.
So
safety disengaged.
Yeah.
So this week, this is the tech talk I wanted to bring up because it was just on one of the things I was mentioning. Do you want to know where this came from? This came from Krypton teaser.
Oh, yeah.
So you know that Krypton got the new teaser? Yeah, I watched that. Krypton's the planet, Krypton, all that. One of the old comic stories about why Krypton blew up was, this is getting real nerdy before we get into tech, but that's the point of it. On Krypton, they went across the universe, they expanded, they did all that, and then they moved back to Krypton.
Right.
And then everyone's like, oh, we should live forever. We should be real old. We're real tech. And the way they did that was that they would clone every person when they were born.
Right.
At different stages of development.
Okay.
And they'd grow them in these vats. So you'd have like a version of you that's 5, 10, 20, 40.
Yeah.
And then whenever you got sick, they just harvest the parts.
Yeah.
So you get in an accident because you crashed your Subaru. They'd give you an arm from whatever. And then what happened was this whole rights group came up and said, well, those clones are all alive. So this is slavery. This is torture. So they all have rights. Then there was a civil war, blah, blah, blah. Someone left a bomb in the core, planet destroyed.
Right.
But I'm saying the end of the world happened because of clones.
Okay.
So the question I want to put to you is, do you think a full clone should have rights?
A full clone.
A full clone. Because it's not just a body clone. Because if you get, say, Alzheimer's, because your name's Al. If you had something like that and they needed to take portions of the brain out and be like, all right, we can see where his synapses are screwed.
Yeah.
We'll take parts from this one and put it in. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
So it has to be a fully functioning you.
Sure.
And what happens, I'm guessing the scenario is when you get born, mom and dad, they clone you and that just stays in a vat, in a tube somewhere in the desert.
Just for extras.
And that grows at the same rate.
Yeah.
So whatever age you are, that clone will be it. And then maybe when it gets to 20, they freeze it. Or 23 is when you're perfect, isn't it? Yeah, I think 23 is when you're developed.
Okay.
So when you're 23, that's your body's at its peak.
I think I'm still going.
You're still going, still getting better, stronger, faster. But they keep it like that. So at any point for the next 50 years, you could always have a fresh new part.
Sure.
Do you think that thing should have rights?
I do think so. Because I think like you've created another human basically,
right?
And you haven't done it naturally and it's come out of a womb, but you have created another human being and it's got a mind and it can think. I mean, you can say that about animals in a way. You know, should you be treating animals this way and that way? You know, but with a human, having him locked up, it's going into fucking prestige as well. But,
so you just think that you can't do that at all? Because that's what this podcast is. Me and you making the laws for the future.
Of course.
We've already sorted cars.
So the cars, they're all good.
Yeah, now
we need the fuckers. Well, I was going to say the fuckers are going to drive it, but no one's driving it.
The way I look at it is we're definitely going to clone.
Yeah.
Absolutely we're going to do it.
But I think it's going to be such a hard topic. Such a hard thing to do. Like we're going to be doing it in such small steps that I don't know if we'll ever get to.
They were saying that about the LP, and then the CD came along. Now we've got MP3.
It's going to be small steps. I mean, what do you think? Like, I think once you've got that other clone, like it's another person. You know,
right?
You can't just throw him in a friggin' tube.
So you're gonna? Would you say that just dead set can't do it? You can't clone a person.
And well, I think you can, but you just got to.
But I'm saying the law. The law is you can't do it.
I think it was just going to be easier on everyone if
we just put a blanket.
Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Because it's too much, isn't it? Like if you did it and that's another person, then you got to ask questions like, who is responsible for it?
Yeah. And then
do you own it because it's your clone, or do your parents own it because they cloned you as a baby?
And then also that clone growing up, like maybe it won at 100 meters. Oh, it won because it's a clone and it probably got like some, extended DNA put into it.
Well, that's the Gattaca discussion about.
But people will just question it anyway. Yeah. And then they'll, you're just being a clone. Yeah. It's such a crazy topic.
Yeah.
But,
it's getting closer and closer because the reason it starts is that kind of idea of you do the 23andMe.
Yeah.
And that's like the first stage of mapping where's your body at? What's your chance of getting pancreatic cancer?
Yeah.
It's like, you got 7% chance. Well, did you know that we could go into your baby?
Yeah.
And while they're in their womb.
Yeah.
Mess with these cells so they've got like a 1% chance.
Sure.
You take that. Every parent in the world would take that.
Yeah.
And then it might get to the point where the parents are like, maybe you can make them run the 100 meters.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
Or not even, just sort of like take the best parts of it. So it's like, I want it to be as tall as me because I'm taller than my wife.
Sure.
But I want it to have her temperament.
I can see it going down that way because money's going to lead it that way as well. People paying to have that.
Because then we get to the Gattaca world where you just make a perfect person. Because if you could, why wouldn't you?
No, yeah. And even like the army. The army
yeah, exactly,
as well. And then eventually we'll get into like X-Men, but it'll be like, make him stronger, make him do this.
And that goes back to the other Krypton version, which is all the people are bred from birth for their particular skill.
Sure.
So you want to be the best car driver in the world. They'll give you better hand-eye. They'll give you better...
Yeah.
They make you tall enough that you fit in the car perfectly, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a general or a soldier, they'll make you stronger and bigger, better tactical brain and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems...
it's crazy. But, you're completely right. It's going to happen. It's just how they go about it. And it's going to be in small increments, like I was saying. That it might happen over, say, 10 years or whatever. And then you'll be like, shit, yeah, we are cloning whole people. But it's going to happen so small, as in, like, we can make him this height. Or we can do that. But eventually it's all going to add on top of each other. And you're like, hang on a second. We've just created, like, this crazy super... Because you can also argue that, we can prevent cancer, like,
right.
They won't get these
That's
cells.
What I mean, yeah.
Like the cells will deflect, and all that lot. And for those reasons, I can be like, shit, yeah, kind of makes sense. Maybe we should.
I definitely think it'll start that way with the negative.
Yeah.
Like instead of getting a vaccine, we can just put it into the womb.
Yeah.
So you won't get polio.
But then
like, okay, that's great.
But then you're going to get like the Olympic Games, and then the guy that won is going to come out that he's been cloned for his leg because something happened. Or,
genetically engineered.
And then it's just going to get blown out.
But then you have the argument again, not against it, but the argument for it. Like if you're trying to legalize or
the clone Olympics.
Yeah, like if you're trying to regulate what your baby can have done to it.
Yeah.
Where's the limit there? Like if you say,
is it a money thing?
Yeah, like my baby's gonna have a 6% chance of this disease. So are you going to tell me as the government that I can't get rid of that?
I know, yeah.
So the government will be like, oh, no. If it's a disease, you can get rid of it.
Yeah.
But then on the other, you would just get to the next stage and be like, well, it's still my genes.
Yeah.
So why can't I make sure that it has my height?
Yeah. But then you also fall into the category of people are going to live for longer, and we kind of don't want that. Then we're going to be overcrowded. Like, seriously overcrowded.
No, because that's a misconception with the way things are. When societies get to a very successful point, the number of babies drops.
Right.
So in really successful countries like Germany and Japan, the birth rate is less than the death rate.
Yeah, okay.
So their populations drop. So they need migration because two parents
they're having less kids.
They're only having one.
Yeah.
Whereas to keep a stable, you need two. Yeah. Obviously, otherwise,
as long as it works that way. Yeah. Which it shows that it is going that way.
Yeah, like the highest birth rates are always in the poorest countries. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if you could turn around tomorrow and say to everybody, "You're all fine. You'll never get sick."
Yeah.
Then everyone's like, "Oh, well, I don't need 6 kids." Like I'm saying this coming from Ireland, where we had.
Yeah.
Like I've seen with my own eyes, like my grandparents.
Yeah.
The size of my granddad's family, and then the size of my dad's. He had 3 in his family.
Yeah.
And there was just 2 in mine. 2 and 3 is like normal now. But back when my granddad was around, it was like 5, 6. My great granddad was 8.
What about the nutcases out there? Like, we only want him to be, like this tall.
Yeah.
And we want, can we have the left arm?
Yeah.
And longer than the right? I don't know who would do that, but
it's true. Like that's a moral question. Yeah. Like if you turn around and I say to you, I want to get rid of the cancer in your baby, and you say fine, and you say, and I also want his leg to be one leg on the other.
Yeah. I'm gonna name.
Do I have a right to say no to you?
Thor, and can we have his upper body? Can it be like just big? I want him to be a big guy. You know? Kind of like that. Yeah, that's where it gets like friggin' mental.
It's also it brings up the question of like, what can a parent then do?
Yeah.
Because you get born.
Yeah.
And if you got born and you were simply, I'm not going to get sick, you can't really give out to your parents.
Yeah.
But if you get born and it's because your dad said he wanted a football player.
Yeah,
so I wanted to be 6 foot.
That's a good case.
And you're like, I don't want to be a fucking football player, Dad.
Yeah.
Why did you put this on me?
Yeah.
And it's like...
Oh, you'll definitely get that.
It then goes down to, at what point do babies have the right to just have the chance to live the way they should.
Yeah.
Because if you program it into someone's brain that they're going to be more adept at mathematics and they're going to be better suited to a particular job, you're kind of choosing their life for them. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And then the child comes out and it's like 35 years old and it's like, I'm miserable. I don't want to be a fucking physicist.
I'm wondering why I was so bloody good at football. It's like, no, I know that's messed up because it is up to the parent, and the parent can totally decide all that. But is it their right to? Because they
legally that's the right now. Because if you have a kid and you say, I want my kid to go to this school,
of course, you can lead them up until a certain point,
until 18 in this country at least. You can do whatever you want to that kid.
Yeah.
Your only job is to keep them alive.
Yeah.
You can do anything else.
Sure.
You can feed them what you want as a kid. You can teach them whatever you want. Like you could just say, the most powerful thing in the universe is a blue chimpanzee and it lives on Everest.
Yeah.
And the child will grow up thinking this. We do it all the time. We say Santa's real till they're like a certain age,
Yeah, he is real.
No, he's real. But the blue chimp.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay. I thought for a second there, I thought you were saying Santa wasn't real.
No.
Oh, okay.
He was the example of, boy, we're good to kids.
Oh, okay.
When you're bad to kids, you tell them the blue chimp is going to take... Yeah. So now you see it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that's my point of, you can do what you want to the kids. And then it's just the slippery slope that terrifies me of, okay, I can say the kid doesn't get a disease. And no one can argue with that. Like, there's nobody who can sit on the other side of the fence and say, well, maybe you should give them the... You want my kid to have a chance of getting tuberculosis or whatever? I'm like,
who's writing these rules as well? Like the same thing with the cars.
That's our job.
Well, we're writing them right now. So we've got a typewriter in the corner. I don't know why it's a typewriter. There is. But
it's still a step up from my computer. I know that much.
Just like the cars that we were talking about. Someone's going to write the rules of if they're going off a cliff, but do they turn right? But there's a family in that car.
Yeah.
So same thing of this. Like, who's writing what families can do? Is it a money thing? Is it like, why should that family have that baby can't get cancer, or we'll give them the cells to deflect or whatever? But this one, sorry, you're $5,000 out or whatever. Is that going to be a thing, or is it all just going to be like, hey, we can cure this, everyone gets it, but then there's going to be people that will complain and go like, well, what are you actually doing here? And like, is there going to be side effects to it when they grow it? It's crazy.
It's like the GMO, people will freak out about
it. Will go down that route though, won't it? So
I think it's...
When do you reckon we'll be there?
I think, we already cloned Dolly like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory about that and all that. We're going to that some other episode.
What did we do with her or him? Did we just shoot him into space?
Yeah, I think we did.
Probably did. So.
Do you want to go colonize the planet?
Yeah.
Okay, off you go. I think it was this week, it was the March for Science.
Right.
Which is like, stop bullshitting, like climate change is real. This is the facts. And I think we're getting to the point now of the science is getting so far ahead of where the average person is.
Yeah.
That the people who should be writing the laws are the people who understand the science.
Right.
Like, we could sit down and say, if you clone this and this will happen. But that's politicians talking about it. I think we're way past. I don't think someone could just walk into a room and just make a rule about this.
No, I know. I agree.
And I think you need scientists to step up and be like, well, if these 60...
Put some hard facts against it.
But I think it'll come down to money, like you said.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it will. But it's going to be a sad world if...
That is the Gattaca universe, isn't it? There's what do they call them? Godborns?
Yeah.
Yeah, the people who couldn't afford to genetically...
That's a sad future,
spoiler alert for that movie, just now. Isn't it one of them they could afford and one of them they couldn't?
Honestly, don't know.
So. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, because Ethan Hawke is the one who couldn't afford it.
Better be right.
But his brother was the detective.
Okay.
They gave him all the money to make him the healthy one.
Right.
And the other one they couldn't afford.
Yeah, I think I remember my brother telling me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good point.
Yeah, I mean, that's a crazy future, but I can see it going down the money route. But yeah, whoever has to write these rules and then kind of say what's wrong. And
like, we're already there in terms of, I remember there was a kid who was... there was a family and they had a child, and the child had some form of cancer, I believe.
Yeah.
And then they needed to get a bone marrow transplant.
Sure.
But it was a very rare match, and there was no matches, and they couldn't find it. So what they did is the parents had another baby.
Yeah.
But that baby's fetus was altered.
Okay.
So that it made sure that child had the right marrow.
Yeah.
So when that child was born, they used him as a donor to save his brother.
Ah, okay. Oh.
So we're already at that stage where you can start messing with what's in it.
It's incredible.
And now they're doing stem cells where they put stem cells into wounds and it'll heal and all that.
Yeah. And he got 3D printing with with parts now. And I know they're doing like face transplants.
Yeah, they can do the heart now. They 3D print a heart and all this.
Yeah. My wife works for a heart surgeon, and he's been looking into a lot of the 3D printing of organs and the heart. So
we don't even need to clone somebody. You just need to print them.
I know. That's probably what's going to happen. Just make sure you use the right material. Oh, that was plastic.
Don't put them in the sun too long.
Yeah.
I guess a full clone's a bit too sci-fi.
Well, that's the original thing that you told me there.
No, but the clone thing, was just because of, they can clone dogs now.
Yeah.
Where they're, your dog dies.
Yeah.
You send them the dog.
I heard about this, actually. Yeah. And they basically clone your dog.
They clone your dog and put him back.
Put him back. Which is just not right, really. I mean,
it's not right, but at the same time, if one of your cats was killed, and I said, "Give me $200, you can have him back,"
I probably wouldn't know. It's like he's gone.
Really?
Yeah. I know. Honestly, I probably would, but maybe a dog's different. Dogs are a little bit more affectionate.
Dogs are better than
whereas
cats.
The cats
You're right.
Get the fuck out.
You said it. Dogs are better than cats. Well, then, if we want to go down, let's just keep going down our moral grey area. If you went to the absolute extreme, and your kid died,
right?
Clone the kid.
Yeah, that's just crazy, because is that your kid? When you clone him, I think honestly. Now,
how do you write the law about that? Is that a new kid? Yeah. Is that a new citizen?
And what is his memory? When is his memory up till? Before he died?
That's another thing. Yeah, I don't even know if you can clone the memory. I don't think that's even possible. That wouldn't make sense.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
Maybe because it's all just data. It's all just.
It's in Star Trek when they beam them up and everything.
Yeah,
they basically are dying and they recreate them.
That's true, isn't it? Yeah,
that's what happens in Star Trek.
They rip them apart.
Yeah,
put them to the what's it called?
Transporter, or are you going into?
There's a part of it. Yeah,
I know. What
they take it apart and then they put you back together.
Yeah.
So they do kill you.
Yeah, I know. I remember because obviously I watched the show and I loved it, and then someone said that they were like, "Oh, when they get transported, they basically are dying and then coming back."
Yeah, because you're not the same person that goes in that comes out.
You're not the same person, which goes back to I think
memory banks. That's it.
Okay.
Because they take every part of you. It goes into the memory bank.
Yeah.
And then it puts you back.
Yeah.
But it's ripping you apart.
That's right, yeah.
I remember that because it was...
And then you can argue, is that the same person? It's like, yes, it is, but I don't know how they do it. Well, obviously, it's a TV show. But
well, that's an old argument. It's not a paradox, but it's a thought experiment. I think it was the Argos, the ship.
Right.
So if I build a ship, right?
Yeah.
And I have this huge, big longboat ship that has 50 people. They're all rowing on big sails.
Yeah.
And then... we go to battle, win the war, everybody's great. We take it back to port, and you realize, we got rammed. We got all these planks we got to fix.
Yeah.
So you take out the planks and you fix them.
Yeah.
And you take the ship out again. You keep doing this. And eventually, after 5 or 6 years of fighting, every piece of that ship is a completely new piece.
Yeah.
Is it still the same ship that left 5 years,
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
At what point do you stop being the thing that you were?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, actually. Technically, it is. Technically, physically, it's not, because those pieces are gone now.
Yeah.
But it is, because it's like the spirit of the ship.
Yeah, and that's our bodies. What is it? The oldest part of a human is 10 years old.
Sure.
Because we're regenerating. Our cells are splitting.
Yeah.
I think it's your liver. Your liver's 10 years old.
Right.
But the rest of you's average 2 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like when you see those flakes on your keyboard or your mouse. It's like it's just your skin. You're just shedding yourself.
You're dying. You're dying on the boards.
Yeah.
I don't know about the kid thing. That's the one that freaks me out.
Yeah, because you can't help but look at them and be like, "You were dead five days ago," or and then you're like, "But this guy remembers." Well, I don't know. Memory thing's another thing, but this guy's running around the room.
Let's say that's the scenario where if you clone it.
Yeah,
they've managed to perfectly replicate all the synapses and neurons.
Yeah,
so you have all the memories.
Honestly, it's very easy to forget things. So if something horrible happens to you, but you know that the next day it will be okay, kind of thing, you can kind of almost forget about it. I don't know. Just say if you were on a train and you had a bad experience, something happened, maybe someone picked a fight with you and you're like, this just really upset me, but the next day you can just be like, I just want to forget about that. I just want to forget that happened, and then you live on with your life. It's a little bit obviously it's more extreme, but if someone was to die and then you bring them back, it would be a little bit like, let's just forget about that.
Yeah.
You know, I know you never would be able to, but you'd be like, but the fact that they're back and they're running around the room again and they're doing their thing, you would kind of be able to, you know, just carry on. I think people would do it. I think it would.
So where's the law on that? Because we've said there's not. The law is
it's money.
The law is you cannot clone yourself.
Yeah.
As long as you're alive.
Yeah.
You can't have a clone of yourself.
Yeah.
When you die, can you be cloned back?
So how did the person die? Because basically
that's part of it.
Well, I'm thinking out loud here. I'm just saying, like, say, like, if you were to, I don't know. I'm trying to think how that person died, and it depends how you bring them back.
Right.
Because your body might be fine. Your whole body might be fine. It might just be I don't know, something in your brain just went.
Aneurysm,
and if they could just fix that little piece and you're back, or they're recreating your whole body again. Like what?
Whole new one.
A whole new one. Yeah.
So
just dumping you.
Yeah. You got hit by that Uber.
Yeah.
And then we put that body in the ground.
Yeah.
And we clone you. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
But you were dead.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, it's crazy. It'll be a money thing, but then it will be like celebrities. You can tell that it would like Tupac and Elvis and stuff like that. If it did exist back then, imagine.
Like, is that the rights? Could you do that? Like nowadays,
I don't think it's fair.
Star Wars Rogue One, they had Tarkin.
Yeah.
And the actor's family said, yeah, you can use his image. That's fine, because they own the rights to his estate. So when you die, do you now have to sign the rights of cloning to your family? They're like, do not clone me.
Yes, for sure. That's actually 100% something that will happen. Yeah, percent. Like you put on your OHIP card and everything like that.
Yeah.
So,
which again goes back to the kids thing, because kids don't have a say in it. If you're under 18 years old.
Yeah. But it is up to the parents.
You're a guardian. We're getting dark on this because this is why I'm.
Yeah.
It's the future, and like if you're a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And things aren't going well, and you kill yourself.
Yeah.
Your parents bring you back.
Yeah.
Like, what's that going to do?
Yeah, that's nuts. That is nuts, actually.
You're like, why did you bring me back? It's like, because you're a daughter and we love you and you're 16, so you don't get a say in this.
Yeah, yeah.
When you're 18, you could do it.
Sure.
But for now, we're going to therapy and we're going to talk about this.
Yeah. But then you can argue that when she killed herself, she was in a bad place. They brought her back and they bring her back to life in another way of like, don't do this, don't do that. Yeah. And then she's like, I just realized what I've done now that I'm in hospital.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying like
but I'm just saying there's different levels to it. But yeah, that is nuts. It's another whole thing. But you are right, there will be, do not clone me or allow cloning.
Do not resuscitate.
Allow cloning if the money's there.
Yeah.
It's like,
the money will definitely come into it.
Yeah,
my worry is going crazy. Like the really rich people. So you take what's his name, Rockefeller.
Oh, I just thought of another scenario.
He's dead. Clones himself and comes back.
But man,
so he never loses an empire.
What about this? Yeah. Heath Ledger. Right. Everyone loved him.
Yeah.
Kickstarter, bring him back.
Oh God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bring money. But then again, he could have signed that. Don't bring me back.
Yeah.
But imagine, and then a star like that, if he said bring me back, clone, he'd have the money for it. But imagine there was a scenario where like he didn't have any family or whatever, and he gambled his money away.
Yeah.
So can you imagine like Kickstarter, like bring Ledger back, and everyone's like boom, boom, boom. It's like we can bring 3 of them back.
Yeah, corpse starter.
But that's another fucking thing, isn't it? Oh, that's crazy. But it's
all crazy stuff. That's all coming.
Yeah,
the automated cars and the clone kids.
I say hopefully not in our lifetime, but
if we have kids,
then it might be in their well, it will be in their lifetime. That's why the thing that really stuck with me, and I was telling a couple of guys about from last week's show was like our niece and your niece and stuff.
Yeah,
like won't need a driving license.
No.
I don't think they will.
No,
I honestly don't think they will. So,
if they do get it, it'll be like you getting an LP player. Like, look what I can do. Look what I can do.
That is actually quite mind blowing for me. The fact that they won't need one. And then I think I can't remember what you said. I can't quote it, but it was like, let's have a go at that steering wheel. Hand drive in the vintage car.
Your hand wheel. Give me your hand wheel car.
It's just bloody nuts.
Yeah. So. That's the thing with the cloning. Like it seems like it's a million years away. It's sci-fi. It's Star Trek. I'm like, it's not that far. We're already doing all the stem cells. We've got the code. Yeah. We know the whole.
I think what will slow it down is like the moral part of it and like what you can and can't do, and then like
the morals is what. That's what terrifies me.
Yeah, because it's just like this.
Imagine you were 18 or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're your own person.
Yeah.
and you don't get cloned like perfectly. Yeah. Simply what happens is that you clone them again, they become a baby.
Sure.
They give birth to them again.
Okay.
That kind of clone. So in vitro cloning. So they just took your cells. And
so you're saying that I need to grow up another 18 years to realize that I've been gone 18 years?
Yeah. So you died when you were 12.
Yeah.
You died when you were 12. And they're like, oh, we loved him. Let's do it again.
Yeah, yeah.
So they started again.
Yeah.
And then you're 18 and then your parents have to legally tell you when you were you previously were here.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think a lot of people would do that. I think a lot of people I don't think a lot of people do that. I think anyone that has like a conscience would basically say that's not right, and when they're older, like we can't even tell them that.
But I'm saying you would legally have to tell them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But
you know what I mean? Because when you go to sign like a passport, or you go to the voting registration, and go, oh, you're 2.0.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
I think most people.
Alex died, whatever, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
They clone them again. You're the other copy of Alex.
I think most people start with a new baby.
Just get a new baby.
And the other thing is, when they grow up, say if you did clone them again, you would bring them up differently because you're 18 or 12, whenever they die, 12. You're 12 years older. You actually bring them up different. They won't be the same person.
Yeah.
You'll be bringing them up 12 years older, and you will be bringing them up differently. And they'll be a different person for it. So you won't be bringing up the same person. So I don't think.
But genetically, it's still the same person.
Genetically, but I don't think people do that because I honestly think like half the thing with a baby as well is not knowing. It's like, it's just like, you don't know, like, how they're going to grow up. And that's exciting as well,
Yeah.
And, like, some people don't want to know sex and all that lot. Yeah. But to say I want that person again, but not have them for another 12 years, it's weird.
So it's only
if you were to get them instantly.
The rapid clone.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we'll super accelerate the cells and they'll pop out when they're 12 again.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do that.
I don't have kids, but I also
here's $50 million. Make that happen.
Yeah. And I think if you have a kid and something like that happens, hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would be like, just rest in peace.
Yeah.
And then it's just like another thing. That's just me.
Well, I think it's going to be parallel though. So. Actually, now I think about it, like if you've got the technology that you can clone your baby, accelerated them up to the age that they were when they died, and then they pop out when they're 10 years old or whatever.
Sure.
Then you've clearly got the technology to clone yourself.
Yeah.
And then if you die, you can just clone yourself to when you were 20.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, it's like the same thing with like time travel.
It's like, will people bother with families?
Yeah.
They'd be like, why do I need a kid? I'm just going to live forever now.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Like,
it's a vicious circle.
Yeah.
So
some people will be like, no, we're going to have a baby. We're going to continue the human race like that. And they'd be like, what's wrong with you, you freak?
Yeah.
This is my 4th lifetime. I've just gone back again and again. One time I drove off a cliff. It was great.
I'm loving it. Groundhog Day.
Yeah. Groundhog Day.
I tried the toaster. I've tried the throws a toaster in. Oh yeah.
Robbing the bank, jumping off the bell tower.
That was like my favorite film growing up.
It's such a great film.
So good. Didn't really get it because in England I was like, what the fuck is Groundhog Day anyway?
Yeah, what is a Groundhog Day? Yeah. I don't get it. Some magic day in America.
It must be. I mean, there's obviously stats, Wikipedia on how accurate that fucking thing is, but yeah.
Time travel? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Groundhog time travel.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a good chat for this week.
Yeah, it was good.
Our new law is...
I don't think there's not really an answer to it, and then unfortunately, the Uber car thing that we had spawns off into loads of directions. This one
This goes everywhere, yeah.
We have like another 5 topics just coming off this one,
Yeah, like if somebody cracks it, the world would go bananas overnight.
But it's like what you said, I think you were saying it on a podcast, or you're a podcast or on the weekend, but if anyone's listening to this in the future,
Yeah, if anybody's listening to this in the future and they're laughing at us, you guys have no idea. You have no idea.
They only got one thing right.
Yeah,
the
idiots.
sheep. We did shoot it into space.
Hashtag time travel. Hashtag Stony Tark.
Stony Tark. I do like that they who commented on that first, actually.
Oh yeah, there was a comment on our YouTube. Someone got in there first.
Yeah, just checking the comment on there. It is Flare Knight. So he commented, the new Stony Tark arrives. So yeah, just shout out for listening and picking up on that. But awesome little topic there, dude. Like we could talk for another probably 3 days about it. To be honest.
I know, it just goes on and on.
Hey guys, we're uploading a 3-day podcast. We haven't eaten. But no, maybe we'll have to continue that.
Yeah, we'll come back. I've got more crazy questions for the future, but that's a subject.
That topic was
the crap out of me.
That topic and just the universe in general. Like, is there someone else out there? Which we'll have to do.
Fermi Paradox. Oh yeah, we'll do.
We've had some arguments in a. We've had an argument in a bar with my brothers and our mate Steve.
Yeah.
And we've been in a bar and we talked about like the universe. And I remember at the end of it, we were like, we were just like, oh, we're done. All right, just pay up and we're going home. You know,
everyone split up.
Yeah, everyone split up.
Go.
Like, yeah, because everyone had their own opinions. And this, and that, and because you're drinking as well, you're just like really passionate about like your belief. And then it's like, yeah, but it could easily be like this. And you're like, yeah, but how could it be like that?
It doesn't make any sense.
Night, like the start of the night was like, hey lads, how you doing? Yeah, pint. Oh yeah, I'll get the reverse round. The end of the night was like, everyone pay for your own shit. I'm going home.
Don't touch me.
Well, those are
I'll class you.
Yeah. Those are usually the best combos.
Yeah, so. I think every week I'm going to throw you another crazy science tech.
Yeah, well, I'll throw one next week. I think it could be a new little thing because you won't know what I'm throwing you.
Yeah, true.
It could be just a bottle to the head.
Yeah, you're wrong.
But that'll be good, and then we'll have a nice little topic.
And anybody listening, leave us some comments or tweet us.
Yeah, if there's something you want us to cover, we won't. So
yeah, no, we're not doing.
If there is something, and we're.
Hashtag tech bollocks.
Bollocks, yeah.
When you're talking about any of the questions, so we know what you're on about. So you don't just go, it's wrong and I don't believe in it. Like, what? Me?
Yeah.
What?
As long as you do
Hashtag
it
tech bollocks.
in that Bane voice. So I did. Oh yeah. Before you do this, because I'm going to go into it, I found out that Neary does a very good Bane.
Now I'm under pressure.
I can try mine, but I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to. I haven't even tried. I've never done Bane before, so you can either go first or I'll go first, and we'll see.
I'll go first and then you can do it. Because you just got to do the one line. What's the line? It's like, it'll be extremely painful for you.
It will be extremely painful. That was shit.
It's alright. You just need practice.
Yeah.
All you got to do is break Batman's back and then you'll be all set.
Pretty sure you practice that for an entire day.
That's all I do.
Maybe a week.
Maybe a year. It's all I do. Just sitting around. And perhaps he's wondering why someone would shoot a man before throwing him from a plane. So you got to modulate. Got to go up and down. So what are we into now? I think we're into games.
Yeah. Let's change it up. Let's do some movies. Let's do some movies.
Fucking ruin it.
A couple of small ones, but we've got Deadpool 2 out June 2018.
Oh,
so
okay.
Officially out in June. So yeah.
Official release date.
Official. So I'm sure we're gonna see lots of trailers of that, which I'm going to try and avoid, but just thought I'd call it out. A lot of people
be interesting if I'd say now they've established what they are, and they made so much damn money doing what they did the last time. Whatever trailers they bring out is going to be kind of mental.
Yeah,
they're not going to be the regular kind of trailers. I think it'd be like he did at the teaser.
Yeah.
It'd be that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Him just looking at the camera being like, it's a trailer time.
Do you want to see something different? Or do you
I definitely think if anybody can get away with just break the mold.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because I think a lot of people want to just see the original film, but just longer. You know, like another... I hope it doesn't do that. Like, basically just another Deadpool 1. I hope it does something that's slightly different. Well, if they're going to bring in Cable... So
Cable's a time traveler,
and he's a time traveler.
He's a time traveler. Okay. Yeah.
So they've already done a good job with the actor with him.
Yeah. Josh Brolin.
So that's a good sign. So it's good it's not Pierce Brosnan or whatever.
Why do you hate Pierce Brosnan?
No, I like him, but I just don't see him being Cable.
No, he's not Cable. Cable's just giant.
Just a bad guy in general, to be honest. But I know a lot of people will be asking for Deadpool 1, just another one, and they'll be happy with it. But I want them to change it up. But the time travel thing might.
That's what I mean. Like, if you have that and you have him talking camera more, like, he can just do what he wants then.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Maybe take the piss out of the other X-Men movies with their time mistakes.
Maybe they'll get one or two more X-Men. Yeah. Maybe the mansion will have like a couple of people in the background.
I'd say they've got a good leeway in what they can do now.
Yeah.
Like, they made so much money.
But it'll be cheeky if, like, the mansion door opens and there's a couple of people in the corridor, but he's like, we can afford these two people.
Yeah, we got these two. This
Or
where's Jackman?
Do you reckon? Do you reckon?
No,
Jackman will be in it.
I think it would be stupid of him to do a joke after doing Logan.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah,
I could get maybe in a couple of years he does a cameo.
Yeah,
but like the very next thing is to do another joke, especially Deadpool, which is a real jokey.
Yeah.
Maybe he'd turn up as Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
One of those kind of jokes.
But what about Cable being a time traveler? If, like, for some reason just goes to a flashback. Is he going to be in a bar having a drink or something? I don't know. It's just kind of, it's interesting. Big film. It's movies and TVs. TV movies.
TV movies
TV
as well,
shows.
if you like that stuff.
I've been watching Prison Break, man.
The return of the
return of Prison Break. Yeah. So, have you seen Prison Break?
I've never watched it.
You've never watched it.
My brother watched it. I'll ask him when I go back if he's watching it again.
Crazy.
Here's the thing. This is why I never watched Prison Break.
Yeah.
I missed the first season.
Sure.
I got the general idea. He's breaking his brother out of prison, and then is it season 2? I was like, season 2.
Yeah.
And at one point, I remember walking into his room or something like, "Oh, you're watching Prison Break? I thought that was over."
Yeah.
Season 3. Like, what do you mean season 3? How many prisons is he in? He's like, this is a new prison.
I know.
They put them in a different prison. I was like, now you're taking the piss.
I know. But you know what? So at university, I watched it. I watched it with our mate Steve and a couple of other people. Ado as well, and all those guys. Shout out to those uni lads. Yeah. And we just bloody loved it. But season 1 of Prison Break is great. It really is great. I don't know, going back to watch it now, it might seem shit, but back then it was awesome.
It was original, I know that.
I remember 24 being like, really got me, 24, Jack Bauer. And that was one of the first TV shows where I was like, I'll watch another. And then it's like 3 a.m. One more. Prison Break was another one, but I was mainly watching them as they were coming out.
It was your first binging show.
It really was, especially with our mates as well. So we used to go around someone's house and watch them. And then like something would happen at the end of the episode, and then we'd be like, what the fuck just happened? And everyone's like discussing it. And it was awesome. But then like season 2 and 3 was still okay, but they got out. Spoiler alert. They got out, and then they went back into like a different prison.
Yeah, that's what I never understood.
More hardcore and stuff like that. Anyway, this is season 5. So spoiler alert again. The end of Prison Break. Basically,
Prison Break 3. Season 3?
No, I think it's season 4.
Jeez, there was 4. I thought there was only 3.
So I went to Michael Schofield. He's the one with the tattoos.
Oh, the tattoos.
He's the one that...
Captain Cold in Flash.
Apparently, he went to prison in real life as well. That's what my wife said.
That's dedicated.
So,
that's a dedicated.
No, isn't like he wasn't supposed to be there, but
that's what he was telling everybody.
They made it look like, and I think they wrote him off like he was dying.
Right.
And he died, and then he had a wife and kids.
Okay.
And then left them, whatever. Prison Break 5. It's out. He's not dead. He's in a prison in Yemen, which I found out. Yemen. The fucking dollar isn't too much.
Oh yeah.
So, but anyway,
so he should be able to buy himself out then.
He should be able to buy a pack
of cigarettes and a $20
$1 million in Yemen is about 5,512 or something.
Yeah, give him $2 million.
But anyway, I watched the first episode and like the acting's not quite there, but it still kind of hooked me a little bit.
Right.
Second episode got me. Third episode, I'm like, I'm invested. But I like it's a cheap thrill.
Yeah,
it's a cheap thrill. I feel like I'm at a strip club or something.
It's
just like I'm watching it, but there was this one scene. I just have to bring it up, and it was just such a bad edit.
Right.
They went into like this terrorist territory of Yemen downtown. You weren't allowed to be in there.
Downtown terrorism. Yemen.
Downtown terrorism. So the government like patrol this certain area, and then in the downtown core are where all the terrorists are and stuff. And so anyway, they were driving down. And the government were like, you shouldn't go down there. It's super dangerous. We're not letting you through.
Where the terrorists are. Look, it's terrorist town. You can see it on the name.
They got through. They got through the border or whatever. Went down there and they were rescuing someone. They rescued them and then they were driving back. But just the way it was edited, it literally seemed like where they were going was 2 blocks away. And it was like, it definitely wasn't. Like, because when they panned out, you can see like, it was like maybe a half an hour drive or an hour drive, but the way they edited them coming back, it was like, oh my god, they took 2 left corners and then they were literally back to the border again.
That was a tough drive down there to terrorist town.
That's not cool. I was just like, who watched that back and said that was okay? Because basically it was like, got in the car, rescued them, drive left, right, and then they were back to the thing. I was like, are you joking? So love it. They have hooked me, even on the 2 left-hand turns. But it's back. It's back, guys. So tune in.
Prison Break is back.
So,
Season 5.
And just to frame it up, season 5 is now it's the other way around. Michael Schofield's in a prison, and his bigger brother is trying to break him out.
Okay.
So all the cast are back. All the cast are back because all the cast from the original haven't been working since. So I'm pretty sure that's probably why.
No, because I know the two brothers are on Flash. They're in the DC
They
universe.
are, actually. They are, yeah.
But
are they any good?
Spoiler alert, I think
don't
one of them's dead.
In the thing?
character.
Oh, really? Which one? The bigger one or the thinner one?
The Schofield, the main one. The one with hair. Okay. The one with hair.
Yeah.
He played Captain Cold.
Oh, okay.
Leonard Snart.
Oh,
he's dead. And the other one's Heatwave.
They don't play like family in that, do they?
No, but they play like best mates.
Okay.
One of them's like cold, one of them's
They
hot.
probably like that dynamic because they're used to each other and thing. But
one of them's angry and the other one's making smart ass comments.
Yeah,
kind of.
Okay. What's the other one?
Should we have our weekly roundup of stuff that one of us has watched and now the other one has caught up and watched it?
Sure.
Because I watched Kong.
Oh yeah.
And I watched Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, you watched Beauty and the Beast,
which you've already seen both of them.
Yeah. But what did you think of? What did you think of both of them?
Exactly like you thought. They were just meh. Like Beauty and the Beast was good.
Yeah,
but it wasn't better than the cartoon.
What did you think of the table scene? I really liked.
That was great.
That scene was great.
That was one of the things I had a problem with for the whole thing. Is like that was great.
The only annoying thing
wasn't everything else like that?
The only annoying thing is like I told you it was great, so in your mind,
no, it was definitely great.
Yeah, okay.
Because like they went all out. They had the effects and they did all the design.
Yeah,
and it was huge.
And I was watching it thinking like, wow, this is impressive, and we're like halfway through the film.
Yeah,
but then the ending. I thought it was going to be another one of those. I'm like, I'm kind of looking forward to another one of those, and it wasn't.
It wasn't.
So,
I don't know why they kind of underplayed everything. Yeah, it's like, oh no, we're not going to do a big thing, especially with the dance,
right?
And you're like, well, this is supposed to be the most romantic moment.
I know, and it felt rushed actually.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing. They kind of didn't pay.
Yeah,
it just seemed weird. I thought once they gotten people in at the start and they kind of eased you into it, and then they had that big dinner scene.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, so now it's kicking off. Right. Now that they're like, okay, we're Disney, we can go crazy.
Sure.
They didn't do it.
Yeah.
You doing?
I agree. Yeah.
I've also heard a lot of people don't like the dress.
Oh yeah.
Her dress looks like it's from H&M or something.
Wasn't good enough.
Yeah. So. Have you seen Cinderella?
No.
I heard that was really good, and people are just wondering like, how can they make one really beautiful, amazing princess dress, and then this one just looks like crap?
Yeah. Sometimes they just like overlook those things, and they're.
It's the underplaying thing. They didn't want to go too far. They're just like everything. Let's make it look kind of realistic, and it's like that's fine.
Yeah,
it's a Disney musical. You're supposed to have.
They were probably like focusing on like the Beast's hair or something, and then suddenly, like, oh, we forgot about the dress. Yeah, or
a lot of it was great. I loved LeFou.
Oh yeah,
the henchman. He was good.
Yeah, he was good actually.
They did the dance in the pub.
Yeah,
like Gaston, who can do it. Gaston
that was great. Actually.
So that one and the dinner scene, that's the way the whole thing should have been for me.
What about Gandalf the clock?
Oh yeah, he was great. He had some great lines in it too. I think my favorite line was he's giving the piano all these instructions, like just keep it low key, don't do too much. He's like,
you can do that one as well.
Gandalf, and then the piano, it's Stanley Tucci. I can't do that. Do you have anything else your pathetic little head wants to tell me about my great music? It's like, no, that's everything. He just doesn't get it. Just the way he plays, like, Ian McKellen, he's a legend.
Yeah, it was very good.
And Kong, like you said, same deal of, I told you this on the weekend, I worked out why it was shit, is that nobody wants anything.
Yeah, you were saying that,
There's no emotion behind what anybody wants.
Right.
So when you're watching it, if you turn your brain off, it's fine.
Yeah.
They have to get from A to C. And in the middle, there's a big B.
Sure.
And it's a big bloody fucking gorilla.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I can see what's going on. But emotionally, you're like, nobody wants anything. Nobody's after anything. There's nothing happening. So the only good character in it is Samuel L. Jackson's guy. Because he actually wants
I was going to say, something. He's the only one that's got like passion in him for something.
He's like, everybody else just wants to get off the island.
Sure.
That's not an emotion. Like you can't play that.
Yeah.
That's just like a physical survival skill.
Yeah.
Like that's what everybody would have. But like maybe this guy wants to betray that guy, or maybe this guy thinks he can get rich.
Yeah, I have to admit, like even the Tom Hiddleston like role, like I just felt it was way too cheesy, and he was just like, "Oh, I'll get us across here. Let's rebuild this thing like that." What did you think of the
spoilers
Jackson
again for this, the whole Godzilla thing and all that?
I just like the Jackson before he got that phone call. You're going to have to go after this ape, and he's like, "Thank you, sir." And he's
that's
like,
what I mean.
He played a really good, obsessed. Like he had nowhere to go. Like he didn't want to go home. I
think he went a little too crazy. But the reason I think that happened was because nobody else had any emotion.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So they're just like, oh, we have to keep relying on Samuel L. Jackson.
That scene where it's all exploding and he looks up at the ape and stuff, and he's like, I know this guy's a huge beast, but I'm standing in front of him.
Like, think about it. All the scenes you've mentioned, all your favorite moments, they're all because the character is feeling something.
Exactly, yeah.
And Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson, you're just like, they don't have anything to do.
No, I know. Yeah.
Like, the whole movie is the first 30 minutes of, we have to get to Kong Island. Kong Island, whatever it's called. Skull City.
Yeah.
And then...
Did you notice the helicopter thing?
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, I was like, there's a lot of helicopters getting off that little tiny boat.
Yeah.
And then when you're on the island, it's like, whatever, 10 minutes in, we have to get off the island.
Sure.
And that's the movie.
Yeah.
Get on the island, get off the island.
Yeah.
And like, every character's got the same
We just
feeling.
need to be at this destination.
And the only person who actually had something different was Samuel L. Jackson. He's like, he doesn't care about the island. He doesn't want the war to end.
Yeah.
And then when he's on the island, he's like, revenge.
Yeah. And I found that, like, the fact that they were, what were the beasts called? And I can't remember what they were called now.
They McGinley called them like skull crawlers.
Well, that was quite funny. That was a funny scene, actually.
Yeah,
skull crawler. Sorry, I just said that out loud for the first time.
Yeah, you can forget that. No, it's good. No, forget it.
No, it sounds silly.
Like, he was great in it too, because
he was good.
He had a lot of emotion behind what he was doing.
Yeah,
but in terms of, like, it was the same as everybody else. He just wanted to get off the island.
Every time I see him, I just see him in Step Brothers, which is one of my favorite comedy films. Anyway,
I just can't get rid of him from Talladega Nights.
Oh yeah, that as well. But yeah, with those guys showing Kong's family dead, and you knew that the bigger one had done that to them.
Yeah,
it was just basically, you just knew that he was going to fight that thing at the end
and kill it,
and you knew it was going to kill it. Yeah, it was so obvious. So I was just
the same as the superhero problems. Like, it's just like, the only reason he kills it is because he's stronger than it.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
so how did his mom and dad not kill it?
Don't use that formula anymore. It's just like, change it up just slightly. But but at the same time, it was a decent action film, and like the CG was great and stuff, and it was good to see Kong again. Yeah. And not just in New York City and all that bollocks. Yeah. But it was, unfortunately for me, more of a background film. Like, I could have been on my phone. I was on my phone. Yeah. And then I was looking up every once in a while. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Just because it just didn't
grab you. Yeah.
You know, it doesn't.
This is why I'm thinking the Godzilla King Kong battle off, or whatever they're going to be doing. Yeah. I really hope to get someone in who can make a good emotional story. Yeah. Because both of those films were a letdown. Sure. But the action was great. It just needs the human characters actually have something to do. Yeah. Because Godzilla was shit. Godzilla was shit. Yeah. It was like, one of
Bryan Cranston?
Yeah, that was great. Everything from Cranston's thing was great, because he had this whole thing of, like, his wife got fucking trapped in the thing, and she's on the glass.
That started off really well. Yeah.
And they're like, nah, kill him. Yeah. Let's kill this fucking Oscar-nominated actor. I know. And get Quicksilver to run around. It was
like he got another film to do.
Yeah, and then the rest of the movie is just coincidence town. Yeah. It's like, he just happens to get off the train at the same place. The monster comes out of the water.
Did you find... I didn't notice it. I wasn't looking out for it. But did you find that King Kong was walking like Godzilla? Someone mentioned that to me.
Because it was done by... He didn't look like a monkey. I know that much. Okay. Like, compared to... Like, I'm thinking of Planet of the Apes. I'm thinking of Andy Serkis in that. I'm thinking of him and King Kong with Peter Jackson. And he went and did all the monkey moves and went to the gorillas in the zoo and all that. Yeah. And he really learned how to physically look like a gorilla. Right. And I didn't get that from Kong. Yeah. He was very stand-up-y kind of.
He was, actually, just like a huge... Just they played up like the hugeness of him and how tall he was.
He kind of looks like he looked like a man. Like, as if they just captured a guy in a suit kind of thing. Yeah.
Instead of hunched over a bit more. So.
Like, because gorillas, they don't stand up like that. They don't walk like that. They're all all top heavy. They're all huge bulk and then small little legs. Yeah.
So those are the two ones you watched. You watch anything else?
Did I watch anything else this week? No, that was it. I watched the Louis C.K. on Netflix. That was funny as hell.
Yeah, he's a funny dude.
Looked like we got some love, right?
Has he got a contract with Netflix? Is that where he releases his stuff? Or?
No, I don't think so. Like, he has his own. He releases his stuff on his own webpage.
Oh, okay.
And then he gives it to... But this one is brand new on Netflix, so maybe he just did it this time like that.
Oh, interesting.
Because I remember he got not rich. Well, yeah, rich. He made like a couple of $1 million. Right. When he released his special on his webpage for $5. Yeah. So you just pay $5 and you get it, or you can take it for free.
Oh, interesting.
But lots of people just gave him the money.
I do remember that, actually, yeah.
Because he was like, I did all this myself. I recorded it. I paid for it out of my own pocket.
Sure.
I took the risk and I did it. And he made like millions of dollars.
Oh, wow.
And he has lots of stories of, like I looked at my bank account, I couldn't believe it. There was like $1 million in there.
Yeah.
And ever since then, that's what a lot of people do.
Nice.
But now he's so big, he can just sell to Netflix.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Dave Chappelle's got one up there too.
Nice. Good for those guys. What have I been watching? Legion. So I've been carried on with that. I'm about halfway through on episode 4 now. So
who the hell's banging?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's next door. Is someone trapped next door? It's that person who chained in the basement.
So I've been watching Legion. So I'm on episode 4.
Oh yeah.
So that's halfway through according to you.
Halfway through. 8 episodes per season.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Like it took me a little bit to get through that first one because it was a double.
Yeah.
But now it's just rolling. It's like 2, 3, and 4. I don't have like crazy amounts of time, so that's why I'm only on 4. Like usually I just binge watch something, but it's just been busy. But no, that's good. Like I was explaining it to someone today, and I was like, "Hey, you gotta watch Legion." They were like, "What's it all about?" And then as I told them, they were like, "So it is X-Men? It's not X-Men, you know?"
Yeah.
Like, is it Xavier's son, or you know? But they were really intrigued maybe. Just with the whole setting. So, but yeah, that one's definitely still. I'm gonna finish that one off for sure. Like and then there's the Prison Break, which I've been watching. That's just been after work. Film wise. No, just rewatching a couple of the favourites here and there. But
we watched a couple on Saturday.
I kind of want to watch the Fast and Furious. I just want to see like a mindless action.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to see it at the cinema. Yeah. Maybe like a Cheapy Tuesday. Because you get
it's already going to make $1 billion. It just need your money.
Yeah, I know. But
Cheapy Tuesday's the way to go.
I just want to see a Cheapy Tuesday film. But yeah.
That's the one to go to then. Because there's nothing else is coming out to compete with it.
Yeah.
You got Guardians out. Not this weekend after.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's 2 more weeks. Oh, no.
3 more weeks? It's May the 19th, isn't it?
Guardians is
I mean 3 more weeks after that.
Yeah, and then 3 more weeks is 80. Oh, yeah, and then in the middle, they got the King Arthur piece of shit.
Oh. Yeah, I'm
calling it a piece of shit, and I haven't even seen it, but I know it's a piece of shit.
That one we're ranting over, for sure. Yeah. We're doing a rant. So, you just mentioned Guardians. I just want to... I don't care about reviews. I don't care about... Because I make my own... decision.
We're going to go see it anyway,
but
although you shouldn't say that, seeing as we're going to review it, so people should definitely listen to our informed opinion.
If they're listening to us, they already do.
Don't listen to us.
But they are starting to roll in a little. And they're
because it's out in Australia.
They're just in the middle from what people are saying. Okay. They're saying it's not as good as number 1. It's hard to do sequels. It's fun. It's cool. It's Guardians, but it's not anything new.
Right.
It sounds like it's kind of like same formula, you know?
Yeah.
They haven't really raised the bar. It's just the same formula. So
we'll
wait and see. Like I said, I'm not going to go see it and then be like, oh yeah, they were right. You know?
Yeah.
We'll make our own decisions.
Yeah, we'll come back and we'll give it. Well, we'll figure out the review at some point.
Yeah.
But, we'll be doing a review. Yeah.
For sure. We already mentioned Avatar, the 3 films, bloody Avatar. Did you like Avatar?
No. I liked the 3D.
Yeah.
But the story, I was like,
Yeah, it was too long. It was like 3 hours. You know, when I think like, if someone said to me like, do you want to watch it this weekend or do you want to watch it tonight or whatever?
Yeah.
I'll be like, the one thing that comes to mind is it's bloody long. Yeah. And if it's long and you think it's got too many like lows, like when we were watching Prometheus, you kept saying like, he's just pushing it on, you know? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Everything's just so energetic and every scene in here, I'm interested in every scene.
Yeah.
I can talk about every scene right now. Whereas Avatar, I'm like, oh yeah, there's that jungle walking scene. Yeah. And it's probably 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't need to be 10 minutes.
And now he's doing this with the bird. And come on.
Now the 3D was great, and it is, if you've got a 3D TV with glasses, it's one of the most impressive 3D movies on your regular 3D TV at home. Never mind IMAX, whatever. It's really, really good. It's just you don't want to be wearing those glasses for 3 hours. You know?
It's to me, it's sort of turning into James Cameron's Star Wars. Like he's so in love with the idea, that no one else can convince him it's not great.
Yeah, I agree.
So he's like, you know, he's going to throw in his Jar Jar Binks and he's going to make his story. And everyone's like,
sure.
Why are you making 5 of these, James?
Yeah.
Like, you've got the tech.
Yeah.
Good job. Do it with a story that's better.
Yeah.
This is the guy who made Terminator.
I know.
And Aliens.
I know.
And he's making this and you're like, oh, man, just...
Please.
So. What a great story.
I know. We'll see where that goes, but yeah. I mean,
imagine that big 3D crazy world.
It's nuts. Like, actually, thinking about Alien Covenant, we should probably see in IMAX if we can.
Yeah.
If it's in IMAX, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about when we were watching Prometheus.
Yeah, that would be
just how Ridley's visuals.
Yeah, I haven't seen those planets that big, and it needs to happen.
Yeah, so, you gotta.
With the
we'll watch that in IMAX for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe IMAX 3D, maybe not. I don't like 3D.
No, neither do I. I like just watching it with my eyeballs, and not something.
I like it with my eyeballs.
Not something filtered in front. Fast and Furious, did you hear that they might do a spin-off with The Rock and Statham? Yeah. That would be interesting.
But do you know the other news is that's because they're already closing it up?
Fast and Furious? Yeah, I think they need to. Actually, I was discussing this.
This is like the start of a trilogy, so there's 2 more and that's it.
Oh, nice. Okay. I was talking to some guys at work and they were saying how The Rock is so big that he can go and do his Hobbs thing. Yeah. And I think people see it. And I think Statham just adding to that would be awesome. Yeah. Now, they were discussing, can Vin Diesel carry just the Furious films on his own? And I said, unfortunately, I think Diesel and Brian were together. Yeah. Sorry, I'm calling him Brian.
Paul Walker.
They were the duo, and they carried those films. And unfortunately, now Walker's not there.
Unless they clone him.
Unless they clone him. Technically, he's almost got a clone of his twin brother.
That's true.
But no, unfortunately... I really do like Vin Diesel, even though I know he's cheesy, whatever. Yeah. But I don't think he can carry the films on his own. I think now Walker's gone. I think that duo's gone. Whereas I do think as Rock as Hobbs and maybe Statham and stuff, they could go off and do something. Yeah. So, yeah, it was just like... and also there's that whole... do you know The Rock and... I don't know a lot about this, and you might know more, but The Rock and Vin Diesel have got like a serious...
Yeah, Rock doesn't like him, yeah.
Why don't they like each other? There was some kind of...
There was just a fight and stuff.
Okay. But yeah,
I just, from what I guess, like Rock just kind of thinks Vin Diesel's a bit ungrateful, right? Kind of pretentious or whatever. Okay. Yeah. You know, The Rock, he's this kind of guy, like, he loves all his fans and all that.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. But yeah,
but they just made $1 billion movie, so they're all friends.
Oh yeah, and they're going to definitely do 2 more. Yeah, for sure.
2 more for sure, and then maybe reboot it again.
Yeah, but yeah.
Did you watch the Riddick movies?
I watched all of them, but I haven't seen Pitch Black.
I haven't seen it either. Yeah.
I want to see Pitch Black, but I've seen the.
I'm just thinking like those are movies that Vin Diesel went off by himself and he said, "I'm gonna be the star. I'm gonna rule everything." Yeah. I was like, they didn't do so great, did they?
He's a big gamer as well, and he actually helped make the computer games because there's a computer game Chronicles of Riddick as well.
Yeah, and he likes Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, World of Warcraft and all that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. When I hear that from him, I'm like, I guess he's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but then you hear the other stuff, you're like, I guess he's a bit of a dickhead.
I know. Actually, funny thing is, I started following him on Instagram and The Rock around the same time. I had no idea about that feud. Yeah. And I slowly just took off Diesel because he would post 3 or 4 things a day. Yeah. And it was just mindless bollocks. Yeah. Whereas when The Rock posts something, maybe once a day, twice a day, it's meaningful. It's usually, like you said, him and a fan saying like, these guys have been waiting outside. I decided to come out, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how that guy gets everything done. Because he goes to the gym.
Scares the crap out of me. That man.
Nuts.
Yeah. He works so hard.
He really does, yeah. And
the one I know following him from Instagram now, being his Instagram stalkers, he just finished the HBO show Ballers.
Yeah, that's right.
He gets to go home for a week.
Yeah.
And then he flies off to do Rampage, the movie.
Yeah, what's
a
going
week.
On here?
He's got a week between a show and the movie.
Yeah.
And then he's got the TV show that just came out, The Rock and a Hard Place on HBO.
Right.
Then he's got a show on CNN about music and history that he's produced.
Yeah.
Then he's got Fate and the Furious. That's out. He's doing all the press for that. Yeah. And then he brought out some Under Armour clothing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then...
Did you mention Jumanji?
Yeah. And then, then they're studying Jumanji. But as I was saying, then they're going to have to start prepping for Baywatch. Yeah, which is coming out as well.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what is this? I know. How is this man physically capable of this?
Yeah, hopefully he's not... Well, he is kind of following the trap of he's doing a lot, but like... Is in film-wise, you're like, oh, he's in everything now. Yeah. But eventually that will kind of die down. Yeah. And he'll,
but the man's nearly 50 years old.
I know. It's nuts.
And last year he made $64 million.
Wow.
So when someone says to me they've made that much money and they're that age and they're still working that hard, how can you not respect them?
No, I know. Totally.
And then, like you said, the best thing about him is he'll turn around and he'll just say, spend 20 minutes with the fans.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's While he's doing all that shit, and you're just like, oh, I got to put some time in.
Big time. Yeah. He'll grab his phone and he'll be like, oh, I'm doing this. Oh, these guys have been out here. Yeah. He'll like prank Kevin Hart, at Jumanji and stuff like that. Like, that's just awesome. And even though I know some of it's staged because it's his Instagram or whatever it is, he's still a genuine guy and he's doing that.
Well, that's the thing about his Instagram that everyone wants to copy is that he runs his Instagram. He doesn't have anybody else running his Instagram.
Yeah.
So everything that he posts is him.
Right.
And he's so big now. I think it's like 50 million followers.
He is, yeah.
Like, that's the biggest thing people get from the movie studios.
Yeah.
So the marketing department turn around and go, ooh, we should get him to post about the new Baywatch thing before the trailer.
Yeah.
Because his tweet or his Instagram will get more attention than the trailer will on its own.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
I know. Good for him.
This is our new podcast, The Rock. We love The Rock.
No, I do.
Did you see the latest thing with him at Jimmy Fallon?
I don't think so.
It was like 2 weeks ago for Fate and the Furious.
Okay.
Fate of the Furious. Fatal Furious, whatever. They went to Universal Orlando. So the Tonight Show's got a ride at Universal Orlando or something.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that.
That just made no sense to me.
It's Jimmy. He basically does all the voices and stuff there. But anyway,
I don't know. But Jimmy's his own thing. But Jimmy and The Rock are kind of competitive.
Sure.
So what they did is they had this contest where they would dress up like in those big mannequin suits.
Oh, I think I did see it. And they were behind people taking photos.
The first thing was they would walk. They had like a 2-minute walk or something, like a 90-second walk. Whatever. It was like a couple of minutes. They had to walk from one place to the other in the suits.
How many high fives was it?
How many high fives and hugs and all that.
It was great.
But then they did all the photos with people and they'd sneak out behind them in the curtains.
Yeah. I actually...
But did you see the guy who was...
a big fan.
The big fan.
Yeah.
He just
that was
broke down.
Awesome. That was awesome. The only thing that kind of annoyed me... I like the picture thing because then they took the head off. But when they were walking around getting high fives, I was just like, that's a big... kind of piss take because he's actually under there, and it doesn't feel the same. Like if I was walking around there and I went high five, someone trying to be The Rock.
Yeah.
Now obviously, if I knew after, I'd be like, oh my god,
that was The Rock.
But if he took his head off after every high five, it would be all right.
But that was the contest because if they had it.
I know.
They had it, because at the end of it, do you remember they had the barricades up?
Yeah, I think so.
When they were. It was like right at the very end, and they're like, "Okay, we're going into the studio," and then they take the heads off, and they're shaking hands and all that. And they're doing the final count.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because there was like 3,000 people.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Because once you know it's The Rock, you're just like,
yeah. It was good because the guy was actually wearing The Rock's brand.
Yeah, tattoos and all that. Yeah, that was awesome. I see stuff like that, I start crying. Like, it's just magic. Like that was the best thing about that is you couldn't plan that. You couldn't fake that.
No way.
Because the guy was just like, "Oh, The Rock, man, he's been my hero since I was 5 years old."
I think that guy was British as well.
Yeah, he was.
So,
then you just think like you just can't plan that. It's so good. Like for him just to be like,
The Rock was pretty blown away. It was like, okay, I know he's wearing my t-shirt, but oh god, I'm on his leg. And then suddenly his wife's just like, no, you don't understand.
You don't understand. That was cool. I don't know where we are anymore. We're just talking about how much we love The Rock.
I know. I've got 2 more on my movie list.
Go.
Just a small one, and we don't have to go crazy on it, but do you hear about the scar on Kylo Ren's face?
No, they've moved it or something.
They made it like 4 times bigger.
No, they made it bigger.
I don't really care.
Don't care.
I'm just commenting on it because everyone was kicking up a fuss.
Yeah.
And then the director had to
explain it.
Because they were like, oh, I've paused the trailer and it looks so much bigger.
It's April.
Like,
it's coming out in December. God, lads, just give it a break.
That's what people are talking about. And then the last one was...
I guess we are not people then.
No. Well, we're just brushing across it.
Yeah.
The last one
Good, he has a scar. Good, great.
Last one which I find really interesting because we were talking about this on the weekend, and this just came out apparently like an hour or 2 before the podcast.
Right.
But
more hot news.
Avengers 4, which is after Infinity Wars, title is not going to be released until very, very soon before the film comes out. Because of a huge spoiler. So the Avengers 4 title for it is a huge spoiler.
So
and you can't announce the title of it until way after
Infinity War.
So, which makes me think
someone's
that
dead.
It's dead and the title has revenge in it.
So if you listen to...
Or something like that. You know what I mean?
If you listen to our Doctor Strange commentary, we have a talk about who could be dead.
So you predicted the future there.
I predicted,
so that's, Avengers 4 title will be a huge spoiler.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what it said.
Yeah.
We won't know what that title is because we're going to be watching Infinity Wars after you watch Infinity War, then they're going to announce the title maybe like 6 months
after.
The
return
and
of...
it's going to make sense.
It's a return or a revenge.
Revenge of Stark or whatever, you know.
The rebirth, revenge.
So, yeah, exactly. They can't say that because of that. It's pretty much...
Bruce Banner's back, baby. So that's the name. BBBB.
That has pretty much confirmed that something like that's going to happen. Do you think it's still going to be Stark? Do you reckon it's going to be Captain America? Because doesn't Captain America get his shield smashed? Could he not just go? Because he's the leader. He
got smashed in the comic. So, well, in the comic, everyone got killed.
Yeah. Well, also, I guess in Stark's...
I think killing Stark is the best thing to do.
I agree as well. Because he's like, everyone's really looks up to him as well. And he's been there. Like,
he's the smartest one.
He'll be the most impactful for the audience as well. Yeah. Though I do feel like they've done such a good job. If anyone went, it would be a massive...
Because Iron Man's the most popular, just like Batman is for DC. Yeah. He's always the one who has to solve the problem. Yeah. Like, he's the one who keeps the Avengers going, or he defeats the nuclear bomb, or he makes Ultron, which is stupid, but he did it, you know. Killing him's like the big shock.
But you know that if he goes, he's sending like a nuke. Yeah. You know, he's not going to go just like, see you later, guys, like that. Basically, it's going to be
Imagine you just kill him in the first 2 minutes. Just snap his neck, and everyone would be like, what?
No, I can see him, you know, like, remember in Avengers where the Hulk goes, I'm always angry, and like smashes up or whatever. Yeah. Remember when he like delivers the nuke? Like Iron Man? Yeah. I can see it being something like, either something very like passionate like that, and he goes and he delivers that nuke. Or I can just see him being like, this is the only way to do it. And he's got like 4 nukes strapped to him. Yeah. And he's like, I'm going right into it. I'm going right into him, and when I do, you take the glove or whatever. Yeah. I can see like him, everyone's like, don't fucking do it. He goes in. Yeah. Massive explosion, but the gauntlet comes off or whatever.
Yeah, he's just still standing there.
And then just like, what you the end of it is just like Captain America with the gauntlet.
Right, like,
yeah. Fuck, you know.
There's so many ways to go, yeah.
Yeah. But
that would be a good thing. Like if they recreate that kind of Avengers feel, I'd be like, and then it blows up and then you think he's getting away. It's like, oh, he's done this before. Yeah. And he doesn't. Yeah, yeah. Everyone will be like, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
Tony.
Are we putting that on a line? Are we saying Stark?
I'm gonna say Tony.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else, like, it doesn't matter if someone else gets killed except for Tony or Captain
just see America. It happening. I can just see it happening.
Like, you don't want to kill War Machine because you've already crippled him.
Yeah, he's not big enough.
He's not big enough. Vision's not big enough.
It's almost like The Walking Dead. You know, when we were talking about Negan, we were like, who can he kill? Smash?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
It's like, who cares? It's like, we care about this person. He's going to get a medium person, which was Abraham. Yeah. And we're going to get a big guy that was Glenn. Yeah. So it's like with this, it's like one person's going to go, maybe 2. We don't know. But the big guy is probably going to be Stark. So.
Because, I was saying like Stark and Cap get replaced by Captain Marvel and Doctor Strange. So, one of them should die.
Do you reckon both?
I don't think you can kill Captain America. I genuinely don't think you can kill him.
Okay.
Just in the sense of like, especially now with Trump in office, he would go nuts. He'd bomb Marvel's headquarters. I just there's something about that character which is like, he got killed in the Civil War comic.
Sure.
And it was such a big deal. Like it made world news. Just like when they killed Superman. Yeah. I just don't think you can kill him.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that's a quick shit you can take on a BVS. Like, they killed Superman. No one gave a fuck. Or was that just me that I miss?
It was just rushed at the end because they needed to fit in. Yeah. Yeah, it was very kind of like, just have a little...
But, like, if we turn around and, we watch Infinity War, and the next day, Robert Downey Jr., he's killed, Iron Man's dead, like, everyone will talk about that.
The thing is, Iron Man and Captain America are humans, and they can die. Yeah. Superman is too powerful to die. I think they would have done a better job if they banished him to the Phantom Zone or something like that. Because then like, shit, he's actually banished. Yeah. Like, he's still got his powers. He's still there, but he's banished. Whereas killing, it's just like, it's Superman. Yeah. Like, he's going to be back. Like, whereas Captain America and Iron Man...
he's just too iconic. Like, Iron Man dying feels okay. Yeah. Like, you can tell your kids that.
But he can also die. Dead. He's still a human. Yeah. It's like Batman. He's still a human.
Oh, yeah, he's still a human. But I just think that Captain America's... The Superman thing of, like, you can't kill Captain America.
100% they're not going to kill both of them because both of them are leaders. Like, Captain America technically is the leader of the group, but so is Iron Man in a way. So you can't take out both leaders. I think what will happen is... This is the talk we were talking about. They'll take Stark and then Captain America
will come back.
even though he is already the leader, he'll step up even more. And because of that feud they've had in the last Civil War, he'll be like, I let him down. This seriously is personal.
But then that could, when you say that, they could flip it and do the thing of America dies and makes Tony realize he fucked up.
Maybe America does die when there might be a lesson.
Yeah, there's a lesson in there for America.
No, I do.
That's agree. Interesting. I didn't hear about that news.
Yeah, I think it was. I only read it 2 hours before this podcast, but just basically saying it's going to be a spoiler. But I thought it was interesting because we were chatting about it on the weekend. But that's it for my movies.
I have some movies that go into the superheroes as well.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, everyone's probably seen this already, but Joss Whedon, as you call him, Joss as everyone else calls him.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon, he was on the red carpet, I think, for Guardians.
Okay.
And they were asking him about Batgirl. So he's doing Batgirl. I thought it was just a rumor, but he's doing it.
Oh, sweet.
He's writing it at the moment, and they were asking her, who are you going to cast?
Yeah.
And he just said, well, blah, blah, nobody.
That's going to do well.
So he says he doesn't want an actress. He doesn't want a named actress. He wants an actress, but he doesn't want someone that you recognize.
Sure.
Because he thinks that's not the character. So he's still writing the script, and once he has the script, he's going to look for the girl. The girl's probably going to be an unknown.
Okay.
So
interesting.
I think that's going to be
a
good thing for DC.
Yeah.
Who kind of like, well, we don't have a good story, so we'll just put famous people in.
Yeah.
It's like maybe just get a good story, and then it doesn't matter who you've got in.
Yeah.
So there's that. So there's not much to talk about there in terms of what's going on, but I'm glad he's doing Batgirl.
Yeah.
I'm surprised as fuck that he's doing it, but that's where he is.
You never know these days. So I'm quite excited for that, actually.
Yeah.
So you reckon Affleck will obviously be?
Well, everyone's still saying Affleck might drop out after Justice League.
Yeah.
I don't know. Justice League is going to change everything.
Yeah.
For good or bad.
Yeah, we don't know.
Because if it's shit, all the directors who come after that can just be like, can we just throw this out?
Yeah.
Can I just, like, Matt Reeves is doing the Batman movie, just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that Batman. I don't like anything about it.
Sure.
I'm doing this Batman. And Joss Whedon can be the same because he has to deal with Batman.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm not doing that Batman.
Yeah, I think Wonder Woman and Justice League will kind of pave a bit of that way.
Yeah.
And then,
it's going to be a busy couple of months. So,
yeah, it's definitely like I was listening to the radio this morning, and like if you're not into superhero films, and we obviously are, but if you're not, it must seem crazy to the average Joe, just like how many bloody films there are, because there's Spider-Man coming out, there's Guardians of the Galaxy 2 coming out, there's Thor, Spider-Man, then there's Justice League, and there's Wonder Woman
and Thor.
We're just repeating ourselves.
Guardians. What are we saying?
But yeah, for them, they're just for them, they all kind of blend into one, and they're not actually telling the difference between a DC or a Marvel one either. And they're like, oh, there's so many of them. That's why I was listening to the radio this morning, and the host mentioned Deadpool and Logan because they were R-rated, but he was like, those were actually stick out movies for him, just because I guess the R-rated, but also because they were great and they were funny, and like Deadpool was funny and stuff, and Logan was like written well or acted well and stuff. But
and for the real hardcore guys, it's different.
Yeah, but those stuck out to him. Yeah. Where he was just like, he probably forgot about Guardians of the Galaxy or Thor or whatever, because he's like, those are the same films, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or,
X-Men. Like, that's the thing. Your missus mentioned on the weekend, said, I like that one. That one's from Marvel, did a good job there. Or she said something like, one of them screwed up.
Yeah.
And just in my head, I was like, that wasn't Marvel.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand how
it was Fantastic Four.
Yeah, like the rights for certain Marvel characters don't operate under the Marvel studio.
Yeah.
But they still have the right to put Marvel before the movie.
Yeah.
So if you go to see X-Men, Marvel comes up before it.
Sure. But
technically, it's not a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So now, when we're watching Strange, they've changed it, so now they say Marvel Studios movies.
Yeah. Because that was the first time that I noticed that.
That's the first one that has it.
Right.
Because they're kind of like, we have to really separate from
distinguish ourselves.
Yeah, because otherwise people will go see Fantastic Four.
Right.
Like, Marvel fucked up there.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that wasn't us.
It's almost like Pixar, Pixar, Disney.
Yeah.
Because Disney now do their own 3D animated.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, this is Pixar?
Yeah, like back in the day, people were like, did you see that new Pixar film? And they mentioned, whatever. It's like, no, that wasn't Pixar.
Yeah.
Because people naturally just think 3D animated.
Totally.
It's Pixar. Yeah. It's like, no, Pixar only do these ones.
Yeah.
So like for big film guys like me, he's like, no, you're getting it wrong.
Totally.
But for the general public, it's like, superhero.
Yeah.
That one has a cape. That one has a mask.
That one's dead.
Is America dead? I saw the one where America's dead. It was a good one.
Yeah, no, but bring her on. Bring her on, Batgirl.
So we got Guardians this month.
Yeah.
And then we got Wonder Woman next month.
Oh, is that next month? Yeah.
And June 2nd or something's coming out.
Okay.
So it's gonna be an awkward time if that movie's bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you got July, August, September, October, November until Justice League is out.
I'm still holding on, thinking I'll be alright. So
still believing. I watched the trailer the other day.
Yeah.
She doesn't say
she doesn't say anything.
I'm just leaving it there.
Yeah.
We're gonna see it. We'll do our review. We don't take what other people say reviews. We'll come in, we'll come out, we'll tell everyone what we think.
Totally.
But she doesn't say anything in the fucking trailer.
Can you imagine if she doesn't say anything in the film? The whole film. Hello?
The other news I have is a little thing for me. Have you ever read the book Fahrenheit 451?
No, I know of it, but
I love it. Real great book.
Okay.
They're doing a TV adaptation of it.
Oh, cool.
It's got Michael Shannon in it.
Okay.
Who was going to be
Cable.
Going to
be Cable, yeah.
Yeah, and he was in Man of Steel. So there's our transition.
Yeah.
So we divert our way over there. And it's also got Michael B. Jordan in it.
Okay.
Who's Creed.
Yeah.
And he's also going to be in Black Panther. So you see, I've got everything in there.
Oh, is he going to be in Black Panther? Oh, that's cool.
He's not Black Panther, obviously.
No,
but he's going to be in it.
Oh, cool.
So they're going to do Fahrenheit 451 and it's on HBO.
Nice.
So those four things together
make
me very happy to hear.
Oh, very nice.
Anytime HBO are doing something you know is going to be good.
Yeah.
And 451 is such a brilliant book, and then those two are great actors.
It's going to be a busy summer because we got Game of Thrones in July. July as well. So we're going to have to do something there as well.
Yeah.
Like that Battle of the Bastards is so good. And
what do you think we do? The Battle of the Bastards, and then we do the very first episode.
Yeah.
And then we do the very last episode that we're on.
Yeah.
Season 6, the finale.
Yeah.
So that'll be 3 episodes commentary.
Yeah,
because they're only an hour. Less than
Battle of the Bastards is basically a film.
Yeah.
But it is an hour, but it's like movie quality.
I'm trying to think of
Super good.
Yeah, and then we can just have an episode and we'll just do like our best and favorite moments as we go through the series. Because there's a lot I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
And I like it. I've read the book.
No, I know.
I don't know what's going on.
And it's finishing up only 2 more seasons. And I think there are 6 and 8 episodes in each or something.
Yeah.
So
we'll do that in June.
Yeah.
We'll do it after Wonder Woman to pick ourselves up.
Yeah.
No, I'm still believing. It could still be good.
We got E3 in June as well.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
So we've got...
But she doesn't say a fucking word in the trailer.
You're going to count the amount of words she says in the film, aren't you? She said 7 things.
She could say nothing, but just please have some on-screen...
Is she in the new Fast and Furious?
No. They just mention her.
Okay.
Like, hey, Dom. What was that, Dom?
She's wearing this gold-plated armor. I don't know why I sound like an old man. But...
That's your Dom impression. Sound like I'm doing this for Brian.
We've officially lost it.
It's gone. We've hit the crazy point in the show.
Just when you think you hit rock bottom, we start the drill and we start going down further.
I thought you were going to make a rock bottom joke there. Rock bottom! Oh. Rock bottom! Rock bottom! Anyway, what were you saying?
I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah, we both just went crazy.
You just went...
Yeah, so that's the only other thing I have was that Fahrenheit 451.
Nice.
Oh, no, there's one thing. I don't know if you watch it. X-Files.
Yeah.
They're doing another...
Don't mind it. Yeah.
Like they did the 6 episodes or whatever?
Yeah, recently.
They're doing a 10-episode one.
Oh, sweet. When's that?
Coming out next year.
Oh, okay.
And then I saw that teaser for Krypton.
Yes. Krypton. It looks a bit teeny boppy, to be honest. It looks a little bit...
It looks like a Smallville-ish...
Yeah.
Kind of like teen, like we're in love, we're going to fight the bad guy.
Yeah, it does. But
it's on a freaking sci-fi planet.
I know,
I'm like, this...
Can they pull that off?
Everything they're showing me, I'm thinking that's the pilot.
I know.
Where they have the money.
Yeah.
When you don't have the money.
Completely agree. And then you're going to be...
Oh, this is the Earth simulator. It makes it look like Earth, where I'm going to send my grandson, Kal-El. So then they can just set everything in bloody downtown Toronto.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it does look like budget might be an issue.
Yeah,
so,
that's why you don't have good sci-fi on TV
as a freaking TV show. Yeah,
it's why Star Trek is like, okay, everything's taking place on the ship.
Yeah.
And on the planets that are like one set, and like a few rocks that we can move around.
Season finale will go down to
a season finale. We'll go out to the greens outside of California. Yeah, and we'll shoot there for the day.
It's like, so if we do this, then the next 6 episodes have to be on board the bridge.
Yeah,
do it.
Like you mentioned like what's the best sci-fi on TV? Westworld.
Yeah.
There's nothing sci-fi in Westworld, is there?
Yeah, it's true.
Glass and naked people. That's sci-fi in Westworld.
When we were watching Prometheus as well, though, Stargate came up. I love Stargate. The film Stargate. I love the film. SG-1 was great as well. But the film is good.
Do you want to do a commentary on the film?
Yeah, it's good, man. This is what we're going to do.
They just keep telling us what they're going to do next week. Do something now, you idiots.
Tune in with those radios.
That's about all I have in terms of film and TV. That's the end of the show, isn't it?
That's all I've got in me.
That's all I've got in me.
Apart from some gaming.
Alright, time for gaming.
So, yeah, gaming news. You got anything on your list?
Not a thing this week.
Not a thing.
Just what we played. We played Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
That was great fun.
Yeah. Actually, we should definitely mention that. We used, just for all the kind of techie people out there, so Alien Isolation we used it on Steam. So we got it on Steam, and to make it work for VR, you have to use a program called VorpX, and that basically stretches the screen round to make it look 3D. So it is all 3D. The disadvantage to doing that is you actually lose a little bit of the edges. So when we pulled out the actual indicator, like what was that thing called? The bleeper, you know?
The bleeper. That's the actual technical term for it, is a bleeper.
The bleeper.
The motion sensor.
The motion sensor. Yeah. You can't really see it in VR so much, but you are like, it does wrap the world around, and you really do feel like you're there. And then you're using an Xbox controller to do it. So yeah, me and Neary had a go at that, and then we also got my wife in there as well for some crazy reactions. But what do you think of that?
But that was no fault of the game.
No,
it's because we're running through so many different configs and all this.
It was crashing a little, which you won't see because we'll edit it out. But it's
but
not.
When it was running, it was amazing.
It's not a native game like Batman that's coming out tomorrow. Like Batman, you're going to get in a suit and you're going to be in a proper 3D world built for VR. This one's like built for 2D screens, but you're wrapping it round. Yeah. But still kind of gets it across. Like you still feel like, shit, I'm on board this ship. And then you've got the cool thing with Alien Isolation is it's the official sounds and music. So it's not like they're recreating the alien sound or some of the ship sounds and stuff like that. It's like it's all like they can license it all because it's done by Sega and stuff.
Get those footsteps clanging as it runs up behind you.
Oh yeah,
scares the shit out of you.
It's pretty good. So we'll have like a little reaction video coming up soon. Yeah. So you can see us all freak out on that.
So that was all. That was the only gaming that I've done all week. That was it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. A couple of other little things. Call of Duty. I mentioned Call of Duty. So they've officially come out with that they're going back to World War II. Right. So they had the future setting.
Were they the future one? Battlefront Infinity was that there?
No, Battlefront is
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty Infinity Wars. Yeah. So
Infinity Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
America's dead.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Had
Battlefront was the World War One.
Battlefield.
So,
yeah.
So and Call of Duty's now,
going back to World War II, but that's where it actually started. So I think it's doing like Omaha Beach and all of that stuff. Yeah. But the cool thing is it's going to have co-op. So it's going to be really featured on co-op. So you're going to be like with your brothers in arms and stuff like that. Yeah. That'll be interesting. That's where Call of Duty got their roots from. So they're going back to them.
Is it the same engine that did the Infinity?
It will be. So it'll look incredible. Okay. It's going to look
What was the problem with Infinity? Just because it was a stupid idea?
I think it was just like, I think they always deliver really good single player experiences and they tell the story really well. I think it's just they almost like skin up what they just did before. They don't really start fresh. They almost like take what they had before and they're like, hey, this worked. Let's just give them a new gun and let's make that guy look black now. You know? And let's make them leap off the floor and they can float now. Yeah. Let's make them run up the walls. Right. You know, stuff like that. Whereas with Battlefield, they're like, let's just do another era, you know, like let's just do like World War One or whatever, you know, and that's what they're doing here. So no one can criticize them for like skinning something. It's like we're going back to World War.
There's going to be some guy running up Omaha Beach with a plasma rifle.
If someone's going up Omaha Beach or running up walls, then you can comment on this and say like, fucking hell. But I think that would be interesting. It has got me slightly interested. Yeah. Because the last like 3 or 4 Call of Duty games have just blended into one. Yeah. You know, but they all sell well. I think the most recent one, Infinity War, sold the least. Yeah. Hopefully this one like brings them up because competition's good. They need to put some competition on Battlefield. Yeah. So it's going to be World War II. I don't know the name of it. Call of Duty World War II, and it's going to be Battlefront 2. So they're going to be up against Star Wars Battlefront 2, which is kind of cool because you're going to have a future Star Wars lightsabers, and then you're going to have a World War.
Do we have a release date for the Call of Duty?
They always come out October, November. Actually, Call of Duty
this year.
Yeah. They always.
I thought this was like they're just announcing.
No. So it'll be a big thing at E3,
right?
And then we don't know. Maybe Scorpio.
It'd be really cool if someone was live streaming E3 and could talk about it.
That would be great.
Yeah, it would be.
And you can get that here. So we'll be doing all 3.
Yeah.
So.
You'll probably be doing 3. I'll just be sitting.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, you'll be like, what? What do you mean he's coming out again? What? They already released that.
Can I have 2 of them? What's this?
What do you mean Scorpio 2? Whatever. 8K? We haven't even touched 4K.
I still can't see the first one.
But that's going to be. I think that's going to be good. You're going to have a Call of Duty World War, which a lot of people are going to be interested in. Then you're going to have a Star Wars Battlefield.
Yeah.
I think people will buy both games. That's good for the industry.
If it's really good, maybe we can play the Call of Duty. But for now, I just want to play Star Wars.
Well, Call of Duty.
When we see the trailer for the, that'll be a big thing. At E3. Maybe.
But Call of Duty is co-op, so like, you and me, Omaha Beach.
Yep.
You know.
Wait, so is it? It has to be out on Xbox, right?
Oh yeah, it will be out on all of them. But maybe we'll be playing on your Scorpio. Maybe Scorpio.
Wait, is it you mean co-op? Same system?
No, so
But maybe we can play. You have the Xbox,
but we'll just get a second Scorpio controller or a second PS4 controller, which I have anyway.
So. Wait, no, I'm saying, is it on the same system?
It'll probably split screen.
Yeah, split screen. Yeah.
But if we want to, if you don't want to be in the same room as me, then
that's how we do these podcasts.
Yeah. So then maybe we'll do it on the PC because you're new. Spoofed up Mac.
I will be killed. I would be instantly mauled.
You can't use the mouse?
I can't use the mouse. The keys have
just
to make
use the
me
trackpad. What's
going on? I just keep looking up at my shoes. I don't know what's going on.
That actually happened. We were playing some games with some people at work. So we were like, hey, we found out there was a few people at work that liked their computer games. And Left 4 Dead, which is a nice classic. Yeah. So we all logged in and played. And there was this girl in Vancouver. And she logged in. And we were like, hey, follow us. And she was like, okay, yeah, this is Cynthia.
Yeah.
So, shouldn't have named her, but I don't think she's tuning in. So she was following.
Hello, Cynthia.
She was following. And then Steve was like, why are you looking up in the air? And suddenly you're looking down. And she's like, I don't know, it's really hard on this trackpad. Sorry? She was playing on a Mac, but on the trackpad. It's like, you can't play Left 4 Dead on a trackpad.
No.
It's just like... Anyway.
Now, when you say it's co-op, that means we can go to the same level together. We're both fighting side by side.
I think the details for it are coming out tomorrow, for sure. So everything
that doesn't help me now, Alex.
I know, but with time travel, it will.
Hashtag time travel. Hashtag Call of Duty.
We'll find out more.
Hashtag
so
Beach.
You'll know more in the next podcast. But it's going to be co-op. Yeah. It's going to be World War II.
Cool.
I think it's Omaha Beach, but I could be wrong. That kind of.
I would say it's Omaha Beach. The other beaches weren't as bloody and deadly and famous.
Yeah. And I think that's where they
No
start
one talks about gold or Juno or sword. I know them all. I know my
Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh, didn't know about that. That was a new lesson for me.
No, did I actually?
So, what do we know about Star Wars? Is that co-op?
We don't know that yet. I don't think. I mean, the single player might not be co-op.
Right.
So maybe that's their little hook. Maybe they've got a hook on them. So,
that'd be cool.
But we don't know
because it is fun when you're playing with somebody else on the same.
But they're both going to be multiplayer for sure. Yeah. So that will cover that anyway. But
no, you kind of like having a mission. We're both going. We're both
take these people down. Yeah. But both those games will probably have a bot mission mode where it's you're on a level and just waves of people come for you.
They're kind of Gears of War thing.
Yeah, the Horde and all that lot. Yeah. So, but. That's interesting. I feel like we'd get both. I feel like we'd get Call of Duty and we'd get Star Wars because it's Star Wars answers that futuristic flying. Yeah. And then World War.
My last experience with Call of Duty was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So they do I missed that whole Infinity Games one, whatever they did.
Yeah.
So I don't have any bad feelings towards them. Sure. And I didn't play Black Ops.
Yeah, okay.
Because I know that was kind of a weird one.
But there's Black Ops 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, so I didn't go near any of them.
Yeah.
I was Call of Duty, 2 or 4.
Yeah. Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare, that's the one, yeah. Modern Warfare 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So that was my last Call of Duty thing.
Yeah. Pretty much for me as well. Because after that, they started just becoming the same game.
Yeah, the Black Ops, and they had a different maker did it.
Yeah, so they have an A and B team. They almost have an A and B team. Yeah, an A team that does one game, and a B team that does another. Right. And some people are is the B team juniors and stuff? It's no, it's just a different team. It's just but yeah, hopefully they find their roots because they lost their way a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think Battlefield was slapping them around the face, but Battlefield. you know, I don't know what they're doing. Well, they're doing Battlefront, but after Battlefront, hopefully they mix it up and do something different. But I don't know.
Well, if Star Wars and Call of Duty come out like in the same week or something, man,
it will be the same week or two.
Oh god,
so, yeah,
that's going to be a night of gaming.
There's no sleep.
No sleeping for that.
Yeah, I can.
It's hour 16. We're still on hot.
We're live streaming.
Live streaming. We should do one of those Twitch. Just like leave every now and again and come back. Like I went for a nap. I'm sorry guys, I was exhausted. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Another
just talk me around to it.
Another little call out. So there's this little thing on but it's on Xbox and it's on PC. It's not on PlayStation, but it's called EA Access and Origin Access. So on Scorpio and on Xbox One, it's called EA Access, and on PC, it's called Origin Access. And what it is, it's a really smart model that EA came up with, and it's like a pretty much $5 a month, but you get like a vault of games.
Right.
And you get like some pretty recent games, like Battlefront's in there, Star Wars.
Okay.
You get like Mass Effects, not the newest ones in there, but all the other ones are in there. They just added FIFA 17, but all the other FIFAs are in there for $5 a month. So it's a vault. You own all those games until, like, if you don't pay the monthly fee, then the games are gone.
Like a Netflix kind of deal.
Yeah, basically. But it's doing really well for them. But $5, like, I think if you pay for a year, it's even less. It's like $3.50, which is like a coffee.
Yeah.
And you get access to, I think, 27 games. And in there is Battlefront.
Yeah.
You get, I think, Battlefield 4. You get 10 hours of Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
You get, they've now put the entire FIFA 17s in there. So it's more of just a shout out, just like well done to EA, because
so what's it on PlayStation or
that's on Xbox and PC. PlayStation didn't take the deal, unfortunately, so I don't know why, but so Xbox have got it and PC.
Well,
so
when I get my Scorpio,
just sign up to EA Access. If you do monthly, it's like $5, but if you do the whole year, it goes down to like $3 a month. Like
that's a
great
Netflix deal.
Thing. And then you'll have you can play FIFA whenever.
That's
you want.
A good competition too for the PlayStation, because they're always giving away those free
they got
things that
PlayStation
you love.
Plus and stuff. So
because you're cheap.
Yeah, you played that one on the weekend, didn't you?
The gunshot one with the Scots,
yeah.
Come on, get me.
Yeah. The little voices, the Welsh women and stuff.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Nintendo Switch got another great game. So Mario Kart 8, it's out. I think it's out this week or next week. So
finally, another game.
Mario Kart 8 was out on the Wii, so it's basically like the ultimate version of it.
They re-emulated it, right?
Re-emulated, yeah. But basically, you can play this on the go now. You can play it clicked in, or you can play it on the train.
Yeah.
But it's Mario Kart on the Wii with all the extras, and it has a battle mode. So battle mode, the Wii was missing, so it's the one with the balloons and stuff, and lots of other little modes. But anyway, it's been getting like 9s and 10s, much like Zelda. So far, not too bad for the Switch, because they've had Zelda. Pretty sure people have finished that now, and they're probably like, Bomberman's only going to take us so far. Now, Mario Kart 8's coming out, and I think in another 2 months they've got another one of their games, like Splatoon's coming out or something. But yeah, just mentioning, it reviewed well, it plays really well in the system, people like to take it on the go. Apparently, if you've got, I don't know one other person with the Switch, but if you've got 8 friends, you can play 8-player local. So if there was 8 of us sitting here, we could just connect on Wi-Fi and play together. So that's kind of cool as well. That is good. So
still not going to get one.
No,
it still doesn't hook me.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, but maybe E3, maybe their press conference might have something. Maybe. So we will be hearing.
Like the kind of games, because we don't play it often, is like the kind of games I like is like playing with somebody else. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, it has to be kind of like a social thing. Yeah, because I don't play it for fun. If I could, I would. Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
It just take up so much of your
time. But it's like if we're gonna have a gaming day, I go into your place, we play Injustice next month. Like that, I want to be playing with you. I don't want to just have the console that I'm
playing. Playing against someone else online that you don't know, or even actually, Injustice do a really good single player. Like the experience is really good, and it might even be worth us playing that. But we'll play each other to start.
Yeah, it's not so much like a reflection on the games or the console. It's just more. It's where I am in my life. Kind of thing. You want to be. It's just like if I'm gonna be doing it, I might as well kill 2 birds with one stone and hang out with my mates while I'm doing it. Yeah,
totally agree.
And if they're not available, I'll hang out with you.
Well,
if you let me.
Outside. Yeah. In the forest. Yeah.
Where the cats can't get you.
The cats can't get you. Another Switch thing, which is ridiculous. So remember I was telling you about like people rebuying the games?
Yeah,
this isn't like Nintendo rebuying, but so this game is coming out on the Wii,
Right.
on the Switch.
On the Switch.
I think in like 2 weeks. Street Fighter 2, and it's going to be $40.
Street Fighter 2.
Yes. Now it's a special edition with a black Ryu, like costume, and like a crazy Ken, and like a couple of extra levels in the background,
right?
And HD graphics apparently, which basically means a couple more pixels.
32 bits.
But Street Fighter 2, honestly came out more than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're charging $40 for it. I just think it's ridiculous. Like, why are they bringing
this is why they took the NES off the shelves, to make room for the Street Fighter 2.
But you know when that mini NES comes out, mini Super Nintendo we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
When that comes out,
that's
got Street Fighter 2 will be bundled on that.
Super Street Fighter 2.
Super Street Fighter, yeah. But you're going to be paying $40
Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo
on the Switch. It's basically that game. It's just ridiculous. Like, that game should be $10 maximum.
Right.
But it's a $40 game.
See, this Nintendo, they did a good thing, and they just shot all over themselves.
And what's even worse, in England, it's £30.
Oh,
I think that's $55. Yeah. So I just that really, really pissed me off.
They need a slap in the face. That's the one film this week.
Yeah. They need a slap in the face. And part of it is because it's being printed on a cartridge, and cartridges cost more.
Yeah. Also, part of it's because it's 20 years old, and I can get it online for free.
I don't know. I'll look it up because it's really bothering me. Street Fighter 2. When did that actually come out?
I'm going to say 94.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo. 1994.
Yes.
Wow, that was pretty good. So it's not exactly that game. It's got more characters and stuff, but it pretty much is that game, just with like a few extra characters. So 1994 is coming out on a Switch, $40 fucking dollars. I don't know. That's ludicrous. Ludicrous. Nintendo, what are you doing?
What are you doing? That's 23 years ago. What the hell are you doing? And if you're listening to this in the future, it's even more years.
I wonder if that's more than when it came out on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
That would be even more hilarious.
If you backtrack the pricing, how much was it back then?
I also, who's playing it? Come on. We've played that game.
But that's the kind of thing of why you want to get the NES, the little mini NES.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
Exactly for that, yeah.
Just I'm going to play the old games, have a little laugh with my mates.
I understand you might be on the go.
Why would anyone buy that?
On the go with the Switch, that's the only appeal, but not $40 appeal. Like $10 maximum.
I can pay, what is it, $5 and get 27 games from EA.
Yeah.
On an Xbox.
Yeah.
And you're going to charge $40 for Super Nintendo games.
To have a cartridge that you could lose and it tastes bad.
Great and a solid.
What else? Actually, the last bit I had in the game, I didn't have too much, was that mini Super Nintendo. If that, it will come out, it sounds like in November. What would be your games that you'd like to see on it? Because
Star Fox.
I've got nice. I've got a couple. So the NES came out with 30. I can't even name 30 to be honest, but the ones that I would want to see on it are Mario All Stars, because that's basically all the Mario games.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see that.
So they won't release that. They want to charge $40 each for them.
Donkey Kong Country. That was just an amazing game with Diddy Kong.
Yeah, that was the very first game I ever played on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it came with it. That was their opening game.
That brings back the best of memories.
Yeah. Because you could play. They both played at the same time. One on the top level, one on the bottom level. It was 2 players.
That's right. Yeah. Street Fighter, because
that'd be awesome to play. I'd love to play that again.
Yeah. Because it will be bundled with the 30 games because it's so fucking old. Contra.
Never played Contra.
Contra is awesome, side scroller, and then the other two, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Side scroller, and then F-Zero, which is a bit basically where Wipeout came from. It's like a super fast racer.
Oh, Avengers, that was on Super NES too.
Avengers is out?
Yeah, Avengers on Super Nintendo. Shit, you remember that? That was a side scroller too.
Oh, I didn't know. I was into my Turtles.
Yeah, the Turtles was a great one too. I remember the Turtles arcade where you could play with all 4 turtles.
Yeah,
that's right. Greatest day. Me and my brother and my cousin were there. We were playing. We're we can play all 3.
But then someone's rough with the sticks, and your stick doesn't go up.
Yeah.
And you're like, mine, it doesn't go up. Just goes left and right.
I can't move. I can't get out of Shredder's way. Star Fox, I want to see.
Star Fox would be great. Yeah.
Oh, what else would I like to see on it? Now, Streets of Rage was Mega
Drive. Sega. Yeah, that was Sega.
Sega.
That was a great one though.
Yeah.
Got Skate with his rollerblades, smashing people in the face.
That was 3.
So, yeah, I think it was. I
know. I play that thing so bad.
So yeah.
We would play that, and then you'd always get to the boss, and you'd ask, will you join me? And you say yes or no, and if you say no, you start the fight. And if you say yes, I'll join, you go, yes, I'll join. He goes, oh, you will join me? I can't trust you. And he sends you back like 3 levels.
Why do I get the feeling that's the exact voice? Like you've got the voice down.
I got that down.
Will you join me?
Will you join me? And I'm trying to think of Super Nintendo. I know I'm going to walk away and think of like 10 that I used to play.
Yeah.
But I can't think of any off the top of my head.
I'm just doing the music.
You're just doing Street Fighter.
Street Fighter music.
They're 2 of the biggest games I played. Street Fighter and...
Who was your Street Fighter guy? Ken.
Because he had a better shivery.
Ken was good. I like Guile. Because Guile...
Guile always pissed me off.
To do his...
Sonic Boom.
You just back and then forwards with like one of the A's or B's.
Yeah, hold back.
Sonic Boom!
I did like Vega though when I could play with him.
Oh yeah, he was basically Wolverine.
Yeah, especially when you're on his level. He was like one of the first games where he could interact with the
on
background.
The net, on the fence.
On the fence, yeah.
Son of a bitch. Well, you know you can get that for $40 on the Switch next week. Such a good. But yeah, even seeing the mini SNES, Super Nintendo. People hate it being called SNES.
I'm trying to think of what else he used to play in it. Well, it was all the classics. Like you would just play Mario, and you'd play Mario Kart.
Yeah,
because Super NES was the Mario where they got Yoshi, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, Yoshi's Island, and then also another good one is Battletoads. That was a really good one. So, and there was Battletoads and Double Dragon as well.
Oh, Battletoads is like the Turtles, but like cooler.
Yeah, cooler. They were like Rash and whatever his name.
Bomberman.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, they'll definitely put Bomberman on it. Definitely.
There's one you didn't mention.
What's that?
Mortal Kombat 2.
Ah, yeah. You know, back in the day, Mortal Kombat, I think on the Super Nintendo didn't have blood, but on Sega it did.
Oh.
I think that's right. And people are like, "What the heck?" You know.
Why am I paying all this money?
Get the X-rated version and stuff like that.
Well,
but yeah, it was.
Well, next week we'll both buy a Switch and we'll play Super Street Fighter. And you can pick Guile and I'll pick Ken.
Sure.
It's the best thing to do.
We'll spend $350 on the console and then $80 on the game.
So. Well, you have to buy 2 copies of the game because there should always be more games sold than consoles.
Of course, just
when
like
it comes to the Switch.
Zelda. Yeah. And we need to taste them. So
we need to taste them.
That's what I was wondering. You know, like if you taste a game and then you bring it back, or if you play a game but maybe you've licked the cartridge and you bring it back, and then EB Games are like, "Have you licked this?"
Yeah. Maybe it's got like a dye in it.
Is that
like
a question?
If you piss in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
So when you lick it, there's little lines around it, like your acid.
Yeah.
You're talking like, you licked this.
You licked this, yeah. I can see.
I rubbed my dick on it, but I didn't lick it.
I can see the rim of the cartridge, and it's a different color.
Shouldn't have spoiled the rim. So is that all our gaming news?
Yeah, it's been a fairly quiet week for that. But
I think that's because E3's coming.
Oh, well, you know, that's exactly it as well. It's like
the Oscars. Like,
it's coming soon. Yeah. Because we've got basically May.
Yeah.
And then E3, boom, here.
Well, right now we're 6 weeks from June.
Yeah.
5 weeks from June.
So we're like
every studio out there is just shitting a brick because they're like,
you know, is the
trailer ready?
They're making, that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're making a trailer. So they're making a trailer. Someone's like God of War. Someone's like Scorpio trailer. Switch. Nintendo are probably like Street Fighter 3.
Yeah. And then they're also having to do all the background work of like, okay, this is coming out in November, so we got to make sure we got this many bloody consoles and we got to get this many sales and this many digitals. And
yeah, it's an interesting time because you got the thing is from the 3 big companies, you know that Microsoft are coming with Scorpio. They're coming with the cannons, but so right now they're probably practicing their whole Scorpio speech.
Yeah.
But PlayStation knows that they're coming with their big guns, Scorpio. So they have to counteract it. I don't know what it is. That's going to be a really interesting conference.
Yeah.
And then you got Nintendo. Nintendo need to come with
that must be a big deal.
Mario
we can talk about this at the E3 itself, but like who goes first?
Yeah.
Like
well, they do. We got the order already. It's Microsoft first a day before,
right?
And then you've got, in a way, you can't do anything within that day. You've already planned your conference, but you can. The only thing you can do is price, apparently. So,
but if I remember correctly, no, I'm not.
You can change a couple.
I'm not a big gamer, but I remember there was something to do with.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Backwards compatibility.
Yeah, no, it was with borrowing games and stuff.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
And
Xbox
one of them said,
Xbox
messed up, and then PlayStation said, "Oh, you can definitely do it."
But PlayStation, I think, always were going to do that, but they just played it up more. But one thing PlayStation can do is that if Xbox Scorpio, we know it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But their one big flaw and we'll get into it on the live stream, is price. Yeah. They might come in high. They might come in at $500
right?
Which means 650 Canadian. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So if they were to do that, then that's what PlayStation need to do at their conference. So they need to come in and say, look at God of War, look at Uncharted, look at this, look at that, look at this, and then this is the blow. PlayStation's going down $75 today.
Right.
And then they'll smack them in the stomach. But if Xbox come in with like something else, then maybe they'll be like, don't slash it until Christmas.
Yeah.
Just do something else, you know, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, Xbox is going to go, oh, it's $500, but we give you a free VR headset.
Well, actually, sorry, it's the other way around. If Xbox come in lower, say 400, 450, then that forces them to do the 75 or 50 price cut.
Yeah.
But if they come in high at 500, 600,
PlayStation can stay where they are. Yeah.
So, but we'll get into it more. And then Nintendo are there as well with their Zelda. They'll probably come out with like Zelda DLC.
Yeah.
They'll probably come out with like more, maybe even like Yoshi. Like we're going to release Yoshi on blah blah blah. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Good. I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah, it'll be really good.
I'm going to be like, I don't know what's going on, but I like it.
It'll be live as we go. So
and it's in June.
Yeah.
So we can set up the TV and watch it.
Yeah.
And then in the boring bits, we can play Injustice. Win-win.
In between. So.
Well, what else is in June? We got Wipeouts out in June, and bloody, it's going to be a great gaming day.
Yeah, for sure.
Excited.
Yeah, but that's pretty much the gaming news for this week.
And we've done the movie news too.
We did that.
And we did the tech news.
Maybe next week we do movies first.
Who knows what we're going to do? Who has a plan? Not me. I don't have any control over this. Next week we'll release the Prometheus commentary.
Yeah.
This week we got our Doctor Strange up.
Yeah.
And then the week after that we'll be back again.
Yeah.
We'll have a new podcast and ready to go.
For sure.
And then we'll be doing our review of Guardians and then our review of Alien. And
it's going to be rolling in.
Yeah, you're going to be it's a busy summer. We've been ramping up now. We got a lot of people out there and you're all listening and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And if you want something awesome, you guys can go to Omaze.com. I'm plugging it again.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's only 2 weeks left.
Sure.
It's the Star Wars competition. $10 to enter, but you can go to all the other levels. You can put $100, $1,000, $50,000 if you want, and you get like a private screening of The Last Jedi. But for $10, you get entered into a contest where you can win a role in the Han Solo movie. You can win a trip to the Skywalker Ranch, and of course, you can win tickets to go to the red carpet premiere with all the stars for The Last Jedi.
Bloody amazing.
For $10.
Yeah.
And this money doesn't go to George Lucas, doesn't go to Disney. This money goes to UNICEF and the Starlight Foundation for Kids.
Yeah.
Win all over.
Yeah.
That's why I push it every week.
Boom.
Because this is what the world needs. It needs people who love Star Wars and people who can help kids.
Yeah.
So you bring it all together and you're all sorted.
Yeah.
So Omaze.com. OMAZE.com/Star Wars.
Boom.
And if you don't want to do that, you just want to bother us, then send us an email. We did get one email this week. I'm just going to give a shout out. I'm not going to read it because it was... Yeah, it's a good email, but it was from a guy named Tim.
Yeah, the guy... Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very nice email. Thanks for writing in and saying hello. Didn't ask any questions.
No.
So...
it's always nice to get emails like that.
Yeah.
We started this just as a...
A laugh. Still a laugh.
Yeah.
Bit of banter.
Yeah.
It's like you were saying, or no, your missus was saying, it's like, you just might as well have brought the microphone to the pub.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. Well, she listens to us and she's like, it makes me feel like, I'm at the pub. Remember back in the old days? And I'm like, back in the old days.
Back in the old days. Back when we were playing Street Fighter.
Yeah, no, thanks to everyone. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for writing in. And let us know, what you want to hear about. And
if you got any commentaries you want to throw, because we're going to try and do a lot more then.
Yeah. And it sounds like we're going to be doing a few more like tech topics. So if there's something you want to hear about.
Yeah, you got a crazy question about tech out there and the future worlds that we'll be living in. That'd be cool.
For sure, yeah. Lots of interesting stuff coming up, especially June onwards as well, like with the E3. But you'll start to see a few more different uploads in the channel. For sure. Yeah. It's at Rant and Bollox at Twitter and rantandbollocks@gmail.com. And if you want to throw a book our way, we're on patreon.com, Rant and Bollox. Don't feel like you have to give us money because we're going to do this anyway. So you kind of don't really need to. Yeah, exactly. What else was I going to say last? Oh yeah, we got the gaming videos coming up too. Yeah. So that'd be cool. Other than that, thanks for listening. A new color. We won't tell you what color it is, but you'll see a new color in the uploads. So thanks for listening, guys. Been a good episode. Yeah, lots to talk about. Yep. Boom.